one.
Good morning, race fans. We get ready to go racing right away for the Briggs 206 senior category. It is Owen McCarthy on pole ahead of Dylan Amundsen.
Who?
Owen McCarthy.
Oh, that's a new name. We haven't heard that in the 206 group. So.
Exactly. He's going to be ahead of Dylan Amundsen as we get ready. No time for introductions as we get ourselves sliding into that acceleration zone. Here comes McCarthy in the Morel Art chassis. It's a great start for McCarthy down to the inside. Amundsen tries to fight around the outside. Meanwhile, that may be another Kart kind of come up the middle there. Brilliant stuff as it's a pass on the way through for the number 70 machine. And folks, we have got a race. We have got the finals. It's time for good green action.
Oh, absolutely. Great move there. Coming from second place to take the lead for that Kart 70 of
Yanko.
Yanko, yeah, actually coming from fourth place. So we'll see if they can all just kind of file in place. And that's going to be a great camera angle right there for the action that we've been seeing going into 9 from the remainder of the classes for the rest of the day. So, again, folks, we apologize for starting early today. We've got some weather moving in. We're trying to make sure we can get as much dry racing that we can get in. So we went ready racing right now, moved the schedule up just a little bit. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have lunch today because we have to work through it.
Right.
But, hey, we're going to be done here probably around 2 o'clock today, and that's going to be a perfect timing before this rainstorm is supposed to come through.
Yes, it is. So let's reset you to the front of the grid here. It is Eli Yanko leading Dylan Amundsen and Owen McCarthy. Amundsen starting to press a little bit of an advantage here. Also keep an eye on Michael Coggins in that bright neon driver's suit there in fourth. Yanko holds on to the lead coming into turn 5, but it's definitely full court press here from Dylan Amundsen as he tries to close on in on the back of that number 70 Orsilon racing car.
Yeah, let's see what he has here. He's got that Todd Spouty VLR chassis rolling right now. You know, he hasn't really probably had to make much changes to his chassis. He's been so dominant through the last couple of races. Up until like Heat 3, he really hasn't been pressured. So let's see if he went back to the drawing board and were able to make the necessary changes to gain that speed that he needs to get the victory today.
Well, he didn't get it off at the start. Oh, Coggins turned around coming into turn number 10. That's going to be unfortunate for him. He'll have to start at the back, work his way back forward. By the way, now that we are in racing, DJ Clark alongside Jason Ewers here.
That's
just
helpful.
To introduce to you the voices that you're going to be hearing through the rest of the day. There's your picture-in-picture. We're happy to be bringing you the action as we continue to watch here in the 206 final. That's a brilliant inside maneuver there from Amundsen. Not able to get it to play. Now looks down to the inside of turn 5. Could this be a little bit of a 2-for-1? Owen McCarthy thinking about it. Better speed off of the corner for Yanko, but not able to convert Amundsen back to the point.
Yeah, so everyone here today gets 2 sets of tires, so they definitely are on new sticker tires. So we should see a little bit faster lap times. The track's got a little bit more grip than what we've seen in the last couple days. So good move by Amundsen there. Let's see if he's able to check out now on Yanko, if Yanko's going to be able to just tag behind him and push to see if they can get a little bit of gap on McCarthy.
Yeah, I think that would be my preferred strategy here at this moment is try to work together a little bit, use a little bit of that, well, to borrow a phrase that's going to be used about 60 miles east of here, co-opetition, as you try to work together a little bit and maybe see if they can get a break from McCarthy and then Yanko can start to try to fight for that position. By the way, one other note to mention here, it is 17 minutes for these finals, 17 plus 2 laps for the finals. For the majority of the series, for the micros and the minis, it'll come up to 14 plus 2.
Yeah, so it's a long time on track. It's pretty much double what they've been racing in the heat. So, again, that brings in the other, how do we set my cart up for the long run? Tire pressures come into play. Track starts getting more grip as we get through. So it'll be interesting to see, especially the races that are later on in the day today. The track's going to get a lot of grip in it.
Yeah, it's going to really grip up, especially considering we didn't get any rain overnight. We did have some the night before, and that changed conditions, but no rain coming down, which means this track is very rubbered in already. It will change those grip levels. And as we talked a little bit yesterday to Gavin Bailiff, also going to have a lot of those marbles out on the side of the track. Going to have to watch out for that. Obviously, the track has been swept since we were out here, but the marble buildup will certainly take effect.
Yeah, and the Levanto tires lay down some massive rubber. I mean, they lay down a lot of rubber, and drivers love it because it does bring up that grip level that they love to have. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a pretty black line. But the other thing that was interesting, what Gavin said last night, was that it makes it really almost a one-lane racetrack at that time.
Yeah, just as much rubber is being put down. If you go offline, you're going to lose a lot of it. Right now, watching Dylan Amundsen and Eli Yanko. Yanko giving a little bit of a push there to Amundsen coming down into turn 7. Here as they switch around. Great new camera angle. As we said, we're going to be able to see that action going into turn 9. One of the overtaking opportunities, again, that Gavin was talking about yesterday, that has kind of developed as an area to overtake as drivers have learned this track a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm actually a little shocked here that I mean, again, 2's faster than 1, but they're starting to pull that distance on McCarthy there. And McCarthy was so fast on the pre-final that I'm a little shocked here. Maybe he's just coming out, setting up for the later run in the race. So we'll soon see here in about 11 minutes to go.
Well, you're an experienced karter. How much can you really affect that with tire wear over the course of a long run like this? Is this a situation like we see in Formula One, for example, where you can save your tires to make a push later on?
Yeah, not so much with the Levanto tires. The Levanto tires are a great tire that has a good even run throughout the race. What is the difference is the tire pressures. So, you know, McCarthy could have went out with a much lower tire pressure where his tire pressure are not built up yet. And the Kart will start coming in halfway through the race. Where you have, you know, Amundsen and Yanko who could have gone out with higher tire pressure. The Kart comes in fast.
All right, well, we'll have to see if that is the case. Amundsen leading Yanko right now as we tick closer to 10 minutes left in this race. Again, the major series here going to be 17 plus 2 laps. So here they go, only about a single kart length's difference. And there you just saw Amundsen glance behind and Yanko kind of give that hurry up and go motion. That to me confirms what we said earlier on. Yanko wants to work with Amundsen, build enough of a gap over McCarthy, and then these two will start to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling Yanko is just faster than Amundsen right now. He's just buying his time, being very smart, tucking in behind. Kind of like we've talked about all weekend, learning where he thinks he can pass Amundsen at cleanly without losing momentum, because we've talked about that several times and how much lower horsepower that these engines have compared to everything else that we have out there right now, these Briggs 206s. So scrubbing speed is the death.
Right. It's very much a momentum-based kart. Can't really do that sort of point-and-shoot way of driving. It's got to be very, very smooth through the corners, and you've got to make sure that you keep up that minimum apex speed.
Oh, absolutely. So, as you can see, they're definitely slowly pulling away from McCarthy, and McCarthy's sitting there on an island of his own by 6 seconds. So, kind of shocked here with Eric King. Eric was showing some pace earlier in the heat, so I don't know what's going on there. You know, Neil Coggins got turned around there early in the race, but yeah, a little shocked there with Eric King.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well about Michael Coggins. I would have expected that number 69 kart to maybe be able to fly up through the field. Now, I just saw him out of our commentary booth window. He has come up on a pack of cars, carts that include Riley McDill, Blake Maché, Eric King, so he's going to definitely pull his way up forward.
So I think we're going to go to that shot with the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Yeah, it looks like we got a little good battle there. I think 1 and 2's got a plan of attack right now. Yep. So let's see what's going to happen here. I think Coggins in the back of that pack is going to start picking those guys off one by one.
Well, he's already done it. There,
never mind.
He comes into the shot. That's him right there. And that is going to be, I believe, Eric King in that red kart that's going to try to, that Coggins was giving him the go-ahead to give him a little bit of a push. Those 2 teal karts, by the way, that's Maché and McDill. So there, as they're going to come across the line, our timing and scoring will reset to indicate where Coggins is. Yes, that is Maché and McDill, and then Cariotti behind them. So While there is a two-car breakaway up front and McCarthy's in an island unto himself, very close battle here from fourth on back.
Dropped a little tire there for Eric King, but didn't seem to kill his momentum. Uh-oh, something happened to Mache, I believe. Probably dropped the chain. Really not much can go wrong with these 206 engines. They're pretty bulletproof, so I'm guessing that probably just dropped the chain.
Yeah, he's messing with the chain right now. I can see him again outside of our commentary window, and he is definitely playing around with that. So I think that's exactly what happened. Good call there, Jason. As we watch Coggins start to pull away here from Eric King, I think it's safe to say that we know Coggins has more speed than King, considering where he was running earlier on in this race.
Yeah, he did a 106.3 and still passing 4 go-karts. So this will be his first clean lap, so I'll be kind of curious. All right, back to 1 and 2 here with Admonson still leading Yanko. Not much happening there. Looks like a little bit of a gap by Admonson. But again, we'll see what Yanko has here. If he can close back up on him, we know that he has a little bit more than Admonson. You know, we will just still, 6:40 to go, plus 2.
Yanko was directly behind that rear bumper of Amundsen, and as you saw on your screen, just ran a little bit wide coming through turns 1 and 2. So I think that's a little bit of what you saw as a result of that. And now Yanko is starting to close that back down again. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in your final 206 senior category. I can confirm, by the way, that it does look like Blake Mache is officially out of this race. That number 48 Kart looks like it is retired.
All right, well, hate to see that for the final, but I'm sure that he's pretty happy with the amount of track time that he got within the last 4 days. So, so we had sitting here, Yanko. They did the exact same lap time, 106 once. I mean, that's the great thing about the continuity of this engine package is it's so equal. There's not a ton you can do to them, so it makes really great racing. It takes that engine issue out of the equation, allows you to really focus on your driving chassis setup.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of that there, and we're also seeing something that I was a little bit interested to learn yesterday when we talked to Gavin Bailiff, and that's a little bit of the draft and aerodynamics of these karts coming into play, particularly down into turn 7 there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the 206s that they're carrying the speed like they are with the GPs and the VLR. Not sure how much, but the aero package has on it, but that was interesting that he said that the reason why they're seeing different lines is because they want that downforce on the front as they're going through that tight section of 7, 8, 9.
Yanko, I think it's fair to say he is officially on the back of Amundsen, indeed giving him a little bit of a how you doing there from behind. Not really looking like he wants to attack. He's still got just under 5 minutes left to go in this race, so I think this is advantage Eli Yanko. He can just kind of hold back and do what he wants.
He's doing exactly what I'd be doing right now. Just sitting back, buying my time. No reason to show your hand yet. And then when it's time, and who knows, he might be pushing Amundsen so hard that Amundsen's going to make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, that's another part of it. And once again, kind of going back to the race that's going to be happening 60 miles east of here, thereabouts. You don't want to say a bump and run necessarily, but if you do get that overspeed, that is going to change your braking zone a little bit, and little mistakes may be caused as a result of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I feel like it's going to be an exciting last 2 laps.
Yeah, keep an eye for that. This is percolating, I think is the best way to put it. This battle is just kind of sitting just under boiling point right now. Amundsen, though, does look like he's able to get a better run out of turn 13, down in 11, 12, and 13. Now, the flip of that is, as we saw yesterday, that has become a little bit of an overtaking opportunity, particularly down into 11. Again, another area we did not think that we were going to see overtakes done, but as this track is rubbered up, that's become an area.
Yeah, you can see right there going through 5. Amundsen's got the kart a little sideways, as like you like to see, and look what happened. Just scrubbed just enough speed that allowed Yanko. But he had enough gap on Yanko that really didn't affect him too much. He just lost that lead that he had.
Yeah, there he goes, down into turn 9. All right, they're going to come back in. Just heading out a shot. There is McCarthy, by the way. He's about 5 seconds back. And again, very surprising. I did not think he was going to be that far off.
He's probably scratching his head like, I won yesterday. What happened? So I was really expecting it to be a 3 or 4 car breakaway with where our top 4 is now, but Coggins is working his way back up. I don't think there's enough time, and he's not running. He's running a little faster than McCarthy, but I don't think there's enough time for him to catch up for that final podium spot.
Yeah, that's about a 7.5 second gap right now, and he is running faster than McCarthy, but it's only about 0.4 of a second faster. And that math just doesn't work out with under 2.5 minutes left to go.
No, math doesn't work.
All right, continuing to watch Dylan Amundsen leading over Eli Yanko here. Yanko consistently looking like he's got more speed, particularly on that run going down into turn 7. Pretty much every lap we have seen that little attempted push, that attempt to try to get a little bit of overspeed going down into that sweeping right-hander.
Yeah, they're so equal on times here, but I just have a feeling that Yanko's kind of toying with them right now.
I was going to say, we're going to check back farther in the field right now. This is the battle for 5th. Eric King, Riley McDill, and Franco Cariotti. That's King in the red and white machine, the sort of late NAS livery, almost 3 wide. Now it's going to be 2 wide as King makes a mistake, and McDill's able to capitalize. There we see McDill starting to try to pull away a little bit from Eric King. Cariotti now the one that's going to be trying to take a look on that number 49 red and white liveried Kart, trying to find a little bit of an advantage. Looks to the inside coming through too, but the door is shut by Eric King.
Yeah, and these guys are also equal right now, running very competitive lap times. Even to the leaders, they're running very competitive lap times. Just, you know, Amundsen and Yanko very smart, not fighting each other, really stretching out that lead on McCarthy, and planning on seeing a great little battle here, probably about 45 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's about when it's going to be. Once again, sort of that Roger Penske rule of racing, wait until the last 2 laps, and then all gloves are off. Michael Coggins, you just saw him on your screen, broke away from this. He has been able to stretch that gap to about 3 seconds. McDill also stretching a gap here over Eric King. So that's going to make him feel pretty good in these final 26, 22 seconds left to go in this race. Keeping an eye out for your leaders, as I do believe this will ostensibly be 3 laps to go at the line for McDill and company.
Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable consistency between Amundsen and Yanko. They both turned identical lap times, 105.92.
And that's not the first time they've done that. They've been doing that for lap in and lap out. And it goes to your point that you've been making about these Briggs 206 engines, is just the ability for them to be consistent. It really all comes down to the drivers.
Oh, absolutely. Drivers and chassis setup, so not much going on there. I don't know if King has anything for McDill there.
I think McDill looks like he's got this relatively covered. About
Cariotti's all over
gap.
the back of King.
All right, there they come back. McDill taking a look behind. King starting to close on in a little bit more. And 2 laps to go for your leaders here. We're going to check in on that lead battle between Amundsen and Yanko, as we believe this is going to be go time for the 2 of them. Yanko already starting to look a little bit more aggressive. That Kart a little bit more on its nose as they come down through turn 6.
And we'll see if Amundsen starts becoming more defensive too. He hasn't had to defend anything so far during this race, but also Yanko hasn't posted a charge yet.
Very aggressive over the curbs there for Yanko through turn 9. Look behind for Amundsen. They will be coming to the white flag this time by. That was a little bit interesting there. Yanko kind of putting his helmet up.
I think it was a prayer.
Real
quick prayer. Give me the win.
Our sweet lady of blessed acceleration, don't fail us now. As there they go through 11 and 12, down into 13. Another sneaky overtaking opportunity, but it looks like Amundsen has that covered off. Down through the final kink on the circuit. There you see it. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for the Briggs 206 category.
All right. Let's see what happens here.
Yanko setting the fastest lap of the race as he goes on through. Amundsen, defensive line into 5. Yanko tries to go around the outside. A little bit of a fade there from Amundsen covering off the line.
Oh!
And there goes Yanko. Is that going to be enough to scupper his chances to win?
Ah, he knows it too. Oh, he tried to just carry all that speed and stay on the inside and just did not able to keep the cart on the track.
And that's exactly what we talked about in these Briggs 206 motors. You've got to keep that minimum speed up there. Not as much horsepower, not as much to get up. And I think that could have been the death knell here for Eli Yanko.
Yeah, that was he was setting it up, and I saw him setting it up, and it was beautifully done. Just dropped the tire and got sucked out.
And there it is. He's going to come through 11 and 12. Only one more opportunity, but the car gets squirrely coming through 13, and that's going to cost him the chance. Dylan Amundsen coming to the line as he did in round 1. Amundsen takes victory. This time he had to fight for it over Eli Yanko.
Yeah, Yanko's I think he's upset with himself there. You can see as he's crossing the line, like, hey, great job, good race, guys. You know, you had a strategy. You guys played it off, and you know, that's just kind of how racing goes.
And want to give credit not only to our camera operator there, your son actually on that one, exact there, Nixon, for capturing that moment, but want to give credit to Yanko and Amundsen. Both of them fist bumping as they're coming down the track. That's the kind of respect and sportsmanship like driving that we like to see here in ROK Cup.
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic. So as we said earlier today, we're going to go live racing. So there is no breaks. We're going to go from event to event. So because of the trying to beat this weather storm. So our next class that should be coming out is Micro, VLR Micro, not VLR Micro,
ROK Micro.
ROK Micro, thank you.
And that is going to be powered by Orsilon Racing. We'll stay with you through this just to kind of get an idea of what it is. We're not going to cut to commercial because we're not sure how quickly this is going to switch over, and we don't want to make you miss any bit of the racing action. Do want to give, again, we've said it a couple of times this weekend, but want to give some massive credit out to our production team here. And we do want to apologize to all fans who are watching at home that you do have a camera on the two of us now. So you have to see our ugly mugs while we're doing this, but they put this up, they got this background and everything set in the wee hours of the morning. Massive, massive credit to them. It's the best team in karting, and we are so happy to have them on board and helping us out, making our jobs look good.
Oh, absolutely. We have the easiest job. They have the hardest job.
100%. 100%. But as we get ready here to go out for ROK Micro, we've seen a lot of ups and downs, frankly, in this series. It's been a little bit unpredictable as opposed to the Briggs 206, where it was sort of, okay, who can catch Amundsen? This one has been a little bit up and down. We're not really sure where everybody's going to play out.
Yeah, I mean, Goubert has showed tons of speed.
Yep.
But had some issues there. But you got Luderos, Nario, I mean, Go. I mean, honestly, any of the kids have a chance. Any of at least the top 10 are all pretty equal in times and in pace. So it's going to be exciting. Again, a longer race that they're not used to throughout the weekend. I mean, they're used to running longer times than in previous races, but you know, our heat races are shorter, pre-final shorter. This is the longest event of the weekend for them. Little strategy to come and play there. Much like we just saw with the last two, very patient with each other, not being defensive, understanding that we need to check out, and they did what they needed to do. And they played out exactly how we said it was going to play out. 2 to go, it's go time. So I don't think we're going to see that type of strategy here with the youngins, but you know, you never know. Pre-finals and heat races are completely different than a final.
Well, one name to keep an eye out for here that may be a little bit of a dark horse, always kind of like to highlight them. Keep your eye on the 12th place cart off of the start. That's Zev Godschalk in the number 1 machine. Godschalk was second when we were here for round 1. He's got a lot of speed in that number 1, just didn't have the pre-final that we necessarily thought he was going to have. And so I think he's going to be one to watch out for outside of that top 10 that you said realistically have a chance to win.
Yeah, he's definitely, you know, a force to be reckoned with out there. I mean, he's down 8 spots from where he's supposed to start in the pre-final. So I don't know if he got shuffled back there. You know, it's hard to see at the start here because there's so many carts going in and out and back and forth. So not really sure what happened there at the start for the pre-final, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure that that team has a strategy in place, and they're gonna pounce on that and get Zeb to the front as fast as he can.
All right, Bernardo Kupel-Guber coming on to the main starting area. Flag is in the air. We are racing. It's not the best start there from Medeiros. I think that's Mauro Nario up the inside in third, trying to take that second place position away. They fly through turns 3 and 4. It is indeed the 5 there of Medeiros that has been able to hold off, closing in on Guber. That's a very good run. We haven't seen that outside lane work all that often. Aiden Go in the 78 moves his way on into third. Good little run, but is blunted in the momentum by Medeiros.
Yeah, it was interesting there too. So that last race that we had, we saw second place Kart go off, and that was a get out of my way push right there.
It was.
Yeah.
Credits where credits due. Medeiros held on to it, but now we're going to be side by side coming down the back straightaway. That's Go to the left, Medeiros to the right. Going to hold on to it. Guber continues to lead.
Yeah, it's good to see the Sodi karts up front. You know, we talked to Velocity Racing yesterday, and they're one of the main Sodi kart importers, and you know, the kart's been a staple in the karting community forever. Kind of went away a little bit, and now they're coming back in force. As you can see, they've got their micro chassis rolling.
Yeah, rolling it up into a good position here. Your top 3, Guber, Medeiros, and Nario right now. Go right now, as they continue to try to push their way ahead. Nario has fallen back in the order. He is down to 4th. Dutch Westbrook up 2 positions into 5th. And Carvalho and Gordano, as they continue to try to move their way forward. Godshock has gained a position, as has young Leonard Flockhart in the number 41.
Yeah, Francisco's down 3. I was expecting them to move up a little bit more. It's kind of been up in the top 3 or 4 through the heats and pre-finals, so a little shocked at that. But again, those starts are so jumbled, you know, especially we've seen what that outside line has to do with it. You can get pushed out and lose some spots pretty quick. So just got to gain your composure back and then start picking them off one by one.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do at this point in this longer race format, is just calm yourself down. You don't need to push too crazily. Just breathe a little bit. Gordano starting to gain positions as well, able to gain one over Carvalho here. That'll move Gordano up into 6th place. Looks like their Mauro Nario starting to catch the back here a little bit. Dutch Westbrook as well. Let's call this a 5-car battle up for the lead. Trying to will the kart forward there is Alvaro Medeiros in that number 5 kart by Orsilon Racing. Again, our sponsor for this race. Giving a little bit of how you doing there to the back bumper of Guber.
Yeah, I noticed something on that lap. I don't know if these kids have been racing with each other for so long they just understand each other. No defensive lines going on right now.
No,
they're running the racing line right now, and I was interested to see that, 'cause especially 5. Usually they come down and they get as low as they can going at the 5, but they ran the normal racing line, so they actually have a plan. So we'll see how long non-defending goes on here, but it's good to see so far.
Well, Medeiros definitely looking like he is in full attack mode here in that number 5 machine. He was all over the back of that Sodi kart by Guber, trying to see if he can close on in. Takes a peek to the inside, but to your point, no defensive line from Guber. He's just able to run the corner better than Medeiros.
Yeah, can just continue on. I mean, he understands it's a long race. Hey, if you get past, it doesn't mean he's going to check out from you. You just get right behind him and you just plan your attack a little bit later.
Yeah, just try to learn. And, you know, we talked a lot over the course of this weekend about learning your opponent's lines, learning what you can take from them to be able to use it to their own detriment. I think that's a little bit of what you're seeing here. That learning factor doesn't stop when the race begins.
Yeah, we have got Go and Nario now kind of joining that duo out front. A good run right there to Go. We'll see what happens if they're able to team up a little bit more. And then you've got Westbrook sitting back there at 5th, just like wanting these guys to kind of start fighting a little bit, just to close that gap up a little bit.
Yeah, and Westbrook's in a pretty good position here because Carvalho and Gordano continue to fight a little bit. And there comes a move. That was a little bit of a wide run from Nario, and that's going to sway back and forth. Go tried to be able to get it back, but Nario's got the advantage.
Yeah, Nario went purple that last lap, so he had a good run going. That kart's definitely coming into its own right now. So we'll see if he's going to be able to close up on the back of Medeiros there as this race continues.
See if he's able to do it. They're going to try to close on in. Medeiros just looks comfortable. He doesn't look like he's being too aggressive, wanting to get that pass done. Under 10 minutes to go, 9 minutes and about 8 seconds left on the clock, plus 2 laps. So I think Medeiros is doing a little bit of what we saw from Eli Yanko in that Briggs 206 race.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, they're just buying their time.
Buying their time, waiting, timing and scoring updates to show that. A little bit of a narrower line there. Carvalho and Garduno continuing to fight it out, which is great for Westbrook. That just gives him less pressure from behind.
Yeah, that's I'm just looking right there at the times, and but as they're fighting, they're 3/4, almost to a second behind.
Yeah, they're losing a lot of time there as a result of that. Gottschalk up to 9th, by the way. Lockhart down to 10th. Francisco holds an 8, holding it behind that battle between Carvalho and Garduno.
Yeah, he's going to be in that battle, if not already in that battle here in a lap or two.
Yeah, and I agree with what you were saying earlier on. Francisco being down in 8th surprised me. He's had some good pace over the course of the weekend. But welcome to the battle here, Mauro Nario. This is now, I would call, a 3-car fight up for the lead. Goubert just trying to hold on, and I think this may put a little bit of a fire under Medeiros. As here comes Nario looking to the inside after going purple on the previous lap.
Yeah, it's just crazy the different lines there, how wide Medeiros went there, and kind of just really opening up the door for Nario, but able to carry the speed through and actually gap him a little bit.
Yeah, able to gap him just slightly. There you can see that marble buildup that we were talking about a little bit earlier into 7.
Oh,
move down into 9. There goes Medeiros, captured on screen, and Nario goes through it well. Goubert loses 2 spots in a corner.
I don't think Goubert was ready for that.
No. Well, that's kind of exactly what we've been talking about with that corner the entire time we've been here. It's a sneak attack. You never expect it.
No, and you've got 2 teammates up front now, so let's see if they're going to be able just to kind of work together and put a gap on Goubert back there sitting in 3rd.
Yeah, we'll need to see. Comes across right now. And now we're going to have to see how Goubert does chasing. We haven't seen him do that in the first half of this race. And also, if he starts to battle a little bit with Mauro Nario, is that going to bring Westbrook and Aiden Go? Go, by the way, is falling down to 5th. Westbrook's been able to get by him.
Yeah, it's I thought for sure that 4th and 5th were going to be able to close up a little bit there, but as we've seen in the other races, it only takes those guys jostling around for position a couple times to allow the back group to kind of catch them pretty quick, and you can make this a 5-cart breakaway.
Yeah, very, very easily able to do that. A little bit of a squiggle there for Nario on the binders coming down into turn 10. Pushing ahead here. That does allow for Medeiros to build just a fraction or 2 bigger of a gap. Come down through turn 13, get onto the power. Less than a cart length gap in between Medeiros and Nario. Nario now all over the rear bumper.
Now, this is where Goubert was really fast, and he's, as you can see how much he closed down right there. Takes a different line than the 2 Orsilon carts, and seems to be a faster line.
Yeah, it does. He's just got the advantage going through that section of the track, but loses a little bit there coming through turn 6.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a different setup with the carts. This is a fixed gear, so it can't be gearing. So his cart just might be a little bit freer going through 1 and 2 than the Orsilon carts, but the Orsilon carts just might have a little bit more grip where they need more grip.
Yeah, that could very well be it. Goubert still not really close enough to beat. Now he closes up a little bit. I think Nario had to check up through 12. They're pretty much equidistant with each other coming down across the start-finish stripe. Under 5 minutes left to go. Medeiros and Goubert both set personal bests on that last lap, as does Aiden Go. Goubert carries good speed once again, takes a look to the inside of Nario coming into turn 5. He's going to go for it, gets the pass done, move Goubert back up into P2.
And that's just, great racecraft, knowing where he is faster and where he can carry more momentum at and able to make the pass.
Well, it's just awareness. It's situational awareness going, this is where I'm carrying the speed. Now he knows he's got to play defensive a little bit, but he can't play too defensive because that will allow Alvaro Medeiros to skip off into the distance.
Yeah, so we're coming up on 4 minutes to go plus the 2, so basically have about 6 minutes left in this race. And I'm not sure what Medeiros was asking to be pushed back. I don't know if he was sure that, not sure if he knew that Goubert just made that pass on Nario or not, but I'm sure when he looks back and he sees a black nose, he'd be like, oh.
Yeah, he knows his old sparring partner is back. And look at this, Goubert already closing back up to the back here of Medeiros. And now it's Nario that gets a little bit of a run coming out of turn 4. No passing taking place, but this battle certainly percolating once more, kind of like we said in that last Briggs 206 race.
Yeah, and the time's starting to run out a little bit here, so we'll see. I don't know what happened to Nario there. They were able to gap quite a bit, so.
I don't see any dirt kicked up on track, so it's not like he dropped a tire. Very strange.
Anything going on in back of the pack?
Got a little bit of a battle back for 6th.
9 through 13 looks a little tight.
Let's see if we can maybe go back and check out that battle as Goubert just continues to press here. He's going to come up close to the back of Medeiros.
Yeah,
2.5 minutes left.
We're going to go to the mid-pack here just real quick to kind of watch that battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Goubert holding in as they come down through turn 9. We're going to check on kind of the rest of the fields here, as there you see 4 and 5 of Westbrook and Go. There's Carvalho and Garduno. They've been fighting. Gottschalk. And then we check back in on that battle right there. That's Francisco, I believe.
That's Lockhart.
That's Katowski, Lockhart,
yeah.
and Francisco.
So you got the Burrell Art, and I believe the CRG, if I'm not mistaken, right there. But let's see what's going on here real quick, and then we'll get you back to the leaders. Just kind of wanted to check on the battle. I thought.
Yeah, Francisco
went
leads
to the
this
top.
pack now.
Goubert made the pass on Medeiros.
Goubert back up to the lead of the race. Good moves there for Goubert.
Here we go.
Here comes a little bit of a move. Crossover.
Was that Cheveri on?
No, that's Brody and Lockhart.
Okay.
Brody in the Nash Motorsports blue there, and Lockhart in the red card. It looks like there that Brody's been able to get it done.
And we'll go back to the lead right now.
Yeah, going to check back in on your leaders. And we got a little side-by-side here, Goubert and Medeiros. Looked like Medeiros tried to make the pass, unable to make it work. Going to set a personal best as he goes. 45 seconds on the clock. Lap times are in the 1 minute category, so this is 3 laps to go. Medeiros decides not to try to make the pass down into 5.
No, and it wasn't even a look behind to be able to defend for Goubert. He's just running his racing line right there. I'm sure that's going to change here in the next couple laps.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see when this starts getting defensive. As you said earlier, we haven't really seen all that many defensive lines taking place. Well, a little bit of a wide run there for Medeiros. That's going to cost him maybe a half a tenth. Comes down into 10 right now. Goubert continuing to lead in that Sodi chassis, ducking down, trying to minimize that drag. Tries to go here at this point.
With 2 to go. Wide for Medeiros there. Interesting move. Maybe trying to do a little over-under right there, but we'll see what does here. See how defensive. Very defensive from Goubert.
I think, if I'm reading that situation right, Medeiros is saying, let's push ahead. I don't want to let Nario catch us.
Or he's giving them some, like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't know what the little lad's saying underneath his.
Oh, great camera angle there down to the inside of turn 9. Medeiros trying to find that opportunity on Goubert. Not going to get it here into 11. Welcome to the battle, Mauro Nario.
If you're going to be in the battle, this is a good time. 2 to
Yep.
go, coming across with 1 to go.
White flag in the air, fan out a little bit. Defensive line there for Goubert. He's going to check behind him. Doesn't have an immediate threat coming in.
I don't think Goubert knows how much of a gap he has. Like, I think he's assuming that Medeiros is right on bumper, which he is now, but he had enough gap going through 1 to where he could have just kept his normal line.
There was the defensive line we were talking about coming through 5, kind of into 6.
Let's see how defensive he gets going into 9. Is that going to scrub enough speed that's going to allow Medeiros to carry it through the normal line? Not much defense. A little bit there. Enough to slow him down. There's the run.
Yep, there's that crossover from Medeiros. Immediate defensive line from Goubert. He's going to try to cover it off. Medeiros weaving this way, weaving that way. Goubert on the inside. Medeiros on the outside.
Nario.
Here comes Nario. He's going to make the pass. He's up into second. He's going to try to go for first, swinging around the outside of turn 11. Oh, and it all comes up not for him.
Oh,
Here
Medeiros on the inside.
Down to the inside. Here they go. It's going to be a
Nario for the lead and for the win. Nario! They better watch out because here comes Go for third, maybe.
Go barely misses out on third, but it's Medeiros and Goubert second and third. Go in Westbrook in the most dramatic of finishes.
Who was that in the back, like 7th or 8th, that was so happy?
I didn't see it. I was too busy watching that lead pack there. My goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the scale line. Great race, though. Nario just sitting back, being patient, picking his time, and ended up with the dub.
Yeah, able to get victory there in an impressive run around. Very, very good stuff. Congratulations to Mauro Nario. That was incredibly impressive for him. You've got to love to see that. And again, as we said, just holding back and waiting. I'm going to check in on the scales.
I love it.
There's Nario.
So very interesting. So I wear contacts, I wear glasses, I wear old man glasses, as you can tell too. Talking to some of my buddies that are very excited there, who are professional race car drivers, and they refuse to wear contacts. They will only wear glasses. He said, if you get the right glasses with the right everything on them, like the best glasses you find, he goes, it's so much better driving. He goes, you pick up so much more. So I'm going to have to go get some good glasses.
Yeah, I normally do contacts, and my glasses are about 10 years old at this point, so we'll have to see. A little bit of thumbs up there from our crew. There you see Nario. Medeiros giving him a big congratulations.
Aw.
Love to see that.
Yeah, but where is Goubert at? I don't see his cart anywhere. All right.
Sure.
As
All right.
we said, ready racing.
We are going to roll right on into ROK GP Junior, presented by PSL Karting. And this, well, it's a different Medeiros, but it's still Medeiros. Cole Medeiros going to be starting up in pole position. Edward Kennedy, Arthur Cordero, and Alexander Vanchev, your top 4. And one Sarah Bradley going to be starting in P5.
Who's your dark horse in this one, DJ?
I'm going to throw a real dark horse on this. I like what I've been seeing out of Fianchi.
Look at the same thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Starting in 6th place position, Fion has done a really good job of learning over the course of this weekend. Just every single session, something new has kind of been added to the repertoire. We've seen speed increase over every time they've been on track. And I think this could be a good run for Fion.
Yeah, and only issue I see is starting on that outside line.
Yeah.
But it's a long race. I don't think that's much of a concern right now.
No, and I think one of the other things that we have to keep in mind is the fact that they'll come down. If they don't like starting on that outside line, they'll make an aggressive move down to the inside off the drop of the green, and that's what I really look for a lot of these karters to do.
Yeah. We'll see. But there's got to be room to be able to drop down.
That's the other big part of the equation, is to be able to do that. There you see that 207. Medeiros leading the way. Kennedy behind. Cordero, Vanchev, and Bradley. Watch out for Vanchev. Second in round 1 finals. Vanchev's got a lot of speed.
Been up front every one of the heat races, so definitely has a chance.
Yeah. I think.
But, I mean, Medeiros won by 16 seconds.
Well, if we remember, there was a little bit of a scuffle for P2, and then Medeiros was able to take off. I think here, if you're Kennedy, if you're Cordero, you've got to try to put pressure to Medeiros early and see if you can fluster.
Yeah, I mean, Medeiros had 3/10 on the field. The next closest Kart speed-wise that were even in the 54s was Alexander Vanchev.
Yeah.
So, if Vanchev can get up there with Medeiros, I think those two has the capability to just check out from the rest of the field.
All right, here we go. Cole Medeiros, Edward Kennedy going to lead this field around to green. Into the acceleration zone they go, and there we are racing. A little bit of contact through the field. Kennedy tries to get down to the inside. Not going to play out. Cordero does be able to get it. A lot of smoke coming off some of the karts in the back there. The 225 of Cordero does hold on to second place position, but Kennedy not letting it go.
Curve.
Big run there. Bradley shuffled down into, looks like 6th, as they keep their way going on through, and Fionn Shi already up ahead of Sarah Bradley.
Yeah, Sarah didn't get the best of starts there, but she's going to dig her heels in and see if she can start picking off and maybe just check in behind Fionn Shi there.
This is not what this field wants to see, though, if you want to catch up to Cole Medeiros. Big move down to the inside. We've got a little bit of scuffling going on farther back in the pack. Kennedy getting pushed down through the order. Cordero getting shuffled all the way down to about 5th or 6th.
No, Kennedy's up to 2.
Is she really?
Yeah. Yeah, the 269 of Edward Kennedy moved up to 2nd. So where is Vanchev? We'll see what happens when they cross the line here. So Vanchev is already up to 4th. But Medeiros has already worked up to a 1.6-second lead. And this is not what they need to see right here. I mean,
oh, that's the 206 of Vanchev getting absolutely swallowed up by Sarah Bradley and Facundo Hernandez.
Right back, though.
Yep.
Only lost 1.
Cordero giving a little bit of what are you doing. Follow the 206. That's Vanchev leading the pack right there. You see the duck from Edward Kennedy trying to minimize that drag going down the back straightaway. Here they go into turn 10. A little bit of a move to the inside there. I think that was Sarah that tried to take that move, and she got it. That would be on, I believe, Arthur Cordero.
Yeah, there's a little battle right there with Kennedy. Kennedy just got overtaken by the 286 of Fionn Shi, our dark horse, already up to 2nd.
Now, that's Vanchev on your screen right there on the 286 of Fionn Shi. So Vanchev has been able to move up into the podium positions. This is the battle for 3rd place. Shi trying to fight back a little bit. Next behind Fionn is going to be Sarah Bradley.
So we have Medeiros, Kennedy, Shi, Vanchev. The Vanchev got around
Shi. Yeah, Vanchev is up into 3rd.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't see that pass happen.
It was down off the middle straightaway there going into turn 7, I believe.
Okay.
Here they go. Back onto the main straightaway. We should get a reset. There you go. Vanchev, Shi, Cordero, Bradley, as Cordero was just able to get by Sarah Bradley.
And Vanchev just went purple to 54.41. So equal in times throughout the top 5 right now that just a little mistake is going to cost you.
3 wide farther back with Landry, Hernandez, and Dupuis. They were really scrapping it out there. We take a look as they come down through 7 into 8.
Is that Cordero? That's got a little, and then they're going to run.
That green and black cart leading the way, I believe, is Noah Landry. There you see as they come in. Big move up into the inside. Across the line right now. We're going to reset on that scoring. That is Landry, Dupuis, Acevedo, Hernandez, Elefante. That's the 241. That's Dupuis and Acevedo trying to close in behind. Excuse me, that green and black cart was Acevedo. 241 right now of Dupuis, trying to hold him off as much as possible. Landry's up the road a little bit.
Yeah, Medeiros seems to be just equalizing his lead on Kennedy right now. It seems to be Kennedy just went purple with the 54.06. Vanchev's about a second behind Kennedy, and then the battle they've all kind of spread themselves out and settled in right now. And longer races right now. Unless someone's making a mistake, I don't see a lot of passing happening right this second.
No, there is a pass right now. That's Shermer down to the inside of Katowski.
Katowski had a really good run yesterday. I can't remember if it was in this class or if it was in the VLR.
I think it was the VLR.
VLR. He had a great run in VLR. So we'll see what happens here.
A couple of carts ducking down, just trying to see if they can get anything into turn 10.
And Vanchev purple again with the 53.95. Couple tenths faster than everybody else.
There's the lead of the field. Nice little battle here that you see as they streak on by. That's Fianchi and Arthur Cordero.
The battle that's going to happen here, probably in the next 3 or 4 laps, is Kennedy and Vanchev.
Yeah, I think they're starting to close in a little bit more. We're going to check back. That's the 207 on your screen right there. That is your leader, Cole Medeiros, giving them a little bit of love. Only a 1.2-second gap at the front of the field. I say only because he had like a 13-second gap at the end of the pre-final.
Not quite as dominant here, but again, I remember there was some jostling going on back in the field, and he was just able to kind of just not be involved in any of that. But Medeiros is doing exactly what he wanted to happen in this final, is just get out in the lead, run racing lines, put down fast, consistent laps. But let's see here. Kennedy was a tick faster than Vanchev that time, so just about a second gap between second and third. And then your fourth of Cordero is at about a second and a half behind Vanchev. And then the next battle is between Bradley and Shee.
Yeah, Shee was just overtaken there by Cordero and Bradley, so both of them able to gain a few positions. Continue to watch Medeiros right now. That gap's come down a little bit, only about 0.04 of a second down from where it was to Edward Kennedy, but it's definitely starting to bring its way down. So Medeiros may not be in clean sailing right now.
Yeah, I mean, little less than 10 minutes to go. It's a lot, over 10 laps plus the 2, so we're looking at about 12 laps left. Halfway through this race, so we'll see what happens.
Sarah Bradley crosses over the line, sets a personal best. Let's see what that gap is between her and Fianchi, if she's been able to keep up close to it. Now she's dropped off there. It's about half a second between Fionn and Sarah Bradley. Medeiros up front, just continuing to start to walk away.
Yeah, Fionn had a bad lap there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. And just 0.3 off the faster cars, almost a half a second slower than Kennedy. So not sure if he set that card up for an early run or something happened to it. I'm not sure, but that's not the pace that we were expecting out of Shee.
There's a visualization of that gap up at the front, Medeiros and Edward Kennedy. Gap's grown about 1.5 tenths.
292 is out. That's Nico Katowski. What? I didn't see what happened to Katowski.
I didn't either, but we just were commending Katowski for a couple of good runs earlier on. Something clearly happened in that scuffle for about 11th position.
We got 8 to go. Let's heard some from our Sky booth here.
All right, this is the battle for 4th and 5th here. Arthur Cordero and Sarah Bradley. Bradley in that white cart chasing. Now remember, Bradley got by Fianchi, who you see in the background of that shot just a few laps ago. Bradley now on the attack, looking for a top 4, needs to get by Cordero to do it.
Yeah, and looks like Vanchev has a decent little lead over them. A little over almost 2 seconds, a little over 2 seconds. So Vanchev is, like you like to say, in an island on his own. And I'm not sure if there's enough time, enough pace between Cordero and Bradley to get up there to catch Vanchev to battle for that podium spot.
Yeah, this may be a little bit of a battle here just for that 4th place position unless something happens to Vanchev. But at the same time, I think this is worth keeping our eye on.
Well, and the other thing you're battling for is for the Winter Tour Championship.
Yep.
Like, you get your card punched to go to ROK Vegas.
Yep.
So it is important. So every spot does count, but you also don't win a DNF.
No, you do not want a DNF, and you want to walk away. It's not, as you said, it's not just bragging rights. It is indeed that getting your ticket punched to ROK Vegas, a very, very important event. If you're able to get that, fantastic.
Yeah, and then the last year, Bradley was able to do that, and she also won that the F4 scholarship for the Redford group. Sorry. Closing in on Cordero here.
Yeah, this is a calm, cool, and collected drive here from Bradley. She's just doing a great job of not overdriving the cart, just letting it come to her, closing in where she can. Again, like we said, learning the line in front of you, learning what that driver is doing, keeping everything together. It's only about a cart length difference. Call 2 as they come onto the straightaway right now.
Yeah, and we had a pass in the back. Shermer on Hernandez for 8th place. Shermer's been quick. Not a little surprised he's back there, but inside the top 10, that will put him just a little behind Nathan Dupuis in the Kart 241 for that 7th spot. But they're pretty much all on top of each other right now.
Yeah, they're very, very close. Hernandez only about 0.4 of a second off there. Landry not too far back either. And they've got to be careful because Fabian Acevedo close in as well if they're not careful. Bradley looks like she's lost a little bit of time here coming down through the corner. That gap's grown just by the eyeball test here in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, she's just a tick quicker than Cordero that last lap. Well, she gained right there. She must have heard you.
Ooh, nice little pass there farther back in the field. I think that's Dupuis getting past, if my eyes are correct.
Do we have slow motion on that corner pass right there? Because it looked
slow. I think they both just slowed themselves down.
I was like, wow, when did we get slow motion? Thanks for the GoFundMe, people.
Yeah, that was indeed Shermer getting by Dupuis. Dupuis now under pressure from Hernandez and Noah Landry. That 4th cart in line, trying to hold on. But I think, big move down to the inside there for Dupuis. He's able to get it back, fighting their way on through. That's going to be side by side between Dupuis and Hernandez. Or between Shermer, excuse me. Now Hernandez is going to get involved in it.
Yep. That's a group of a lot of beating and banging there for 7th spot. Is it 286? Where is she at? She's about 4 seconds ahead. So.
Yeah, she's kind of at an island on themselves here. A little bit of contact farther back. See that Sodi cart leading. Down into the corner. They try to be able to sort themselves out. This mainly, again, Shermer.
Outside, inside move. That's a great move right there. Set that up from that Speed Concepts chassis.
It's a good one there from Shermer, but Dupuis has the inside line, and Dupuis is going to carry the momentum through turn 1.
Very defensive there.
And ran into the back of there for Shermer. Shermer went into the back of Dupuis. Shermer's got to be careful. That nose looks a little down. It looks a little low to the ground. I wonder if that's a half push down.
Man, boy, I can take a look at that. I'm just looking at the lead here. Kennedy's tapping in a little bit to Kennedy, or to Medeiros' lead, but Medeiros just went about 0.2 faster that last lap.
Big move to the outside there for Hernandez. Oh, that's the 241. That's Dupuis. Something happened coming down through the corner.
Big move on the inside.
Oh!
Got a wreck.
Couple of carts taken out as a result of it. We'll get reacquainted here. It's Hernandez, Acevedo, Landry, Miller, Robles, Martin. Dupuis, as we said, had something happen coming out of turn 10, just bogged down that motor, and it did not look like it wanted to go.
Yeah, again, they're what we call a 219 chain, which is a really small chain. And it runs on that. I don't know if he maybe dropped a tire and then, I don't know. But look, usually when I see something like that happen, usually it's a chain, but he's not there, so
yeah, he's fallen all the way down to 17th, last Kart on the lead lap. That's Acevedo, Landry, Miller, I believe, on your screen, that little triplet that we're following.
Yeah, not much going on. The next closest battle besides these guys is for 4th, with Cordero and Bradley are continuing battling up there. And then this gaggle of carts that we're following right now.
We keep an eye there. That's the 205. That's Shermer, who's frankly been able to escape from all that melee that he saw behind. Now this is back for that battle again for 9th place. Acevedo leading, then Landry in the 213, followed by Alex Miller in the 240. Oh, a little bit of a slide there for Landry. Is that going to open up a door here? Acevedo starting to break away. I think that's Alex Miller that, or I think that's Robles that's joined the party. It's the 220 indeed. That's Carol Robles. We're going to jump back up to 4th place here with Sarah
got
Bradley.
Around Cordero.
Yeah, got the move done. So move Bradley up into 4th. Now she's about 3 seconds off of Vanchev in 3rd. So podium contention probably out of the question here for Sarah. But if she's just got to hold on to this position, that's a nice healthy bit of points.
Oh, absolutely. And again, the front 3 have kind of just all spaced themselves out. Pretty much no battle's going to happen in there that's going to allow this duo to kind of catch up with them. Uneventful front 3, but good for Medeiros. Just kind of executed probably the plan that he had.
Yeah, and credit here to Kennedy. This is not the 13, 14 second advantage that we saw earlier in the rounds from Medeiros. Kennedy kept this close. This is only 1.5 seconds. There's 20 seconds plus 2 laps left to go in this race. If Medeiros does make an uncharacteristic error, Kennedy's there to pounce.
Or, you know, as you
look down to the inside there for Cordero on Bradley, and he got him.
Yeah, I thought Bradley would get around and maybe be able to gap a little bit there, but Cordero had a different plan.
All right, that's going to be Cordero back up into 4th. They're going to push their way ahead. Let's see if there's any way to catch on in for Sarah Bradley. Again, 2 laps to go at the line now that the clock has expired.
Yeah, Medeiros is just laying down.
Oh, Bradley down to the inside of 5.
Move.
Gets the move done.
All right, let's see if Cordero can repeat what he just did going into 9.
Trying to be able to see if he can get anything. No, he's going to hold back there. Trying to move his way around right now. Cordero not able to get the maneuver. Bradley holding out ahead. The gap about a kart length and a half. Call it 2 kart lengths. It's going to decrease a little bit as they come through the corner of 13.
A little defensive line there. See if Medeiros can keep his momentum up going through this and get her into 5. Sarah keeps that cart down really low, but Cordero knows that. Gets a gun run through 5 into 6. Going through the big sweeper through 7. We'll see if he can make a move going into turn 9.
All right, here he goes. He's going to think about it. Bradley not able to get it done, or Cordero not able to get it done. Oh, but Bradley now has to go super defensive as they come in. Holds the line. Cordero not able to get it. There's only one more opportunity for him to really try to get this move. Looks for the over-under, but crossing the line is Cole Medeiros, who takes victory. Here we check back on that battle. Bradley has the advantage. Bradley has the position. That's P4. I love the jump and the bounce from Cordero, willing that cart forward, but it wasn't enough. Hyun Shi takes 6th.
Yeah, good run for Shi. Up there, 3rd for a little bit. And then just kind of got his way worked back to 6th. But Medeiros had that in control, wire to wire. Not surprised there at all. I thought for sure Vanchev was going to be able to close up on Kennedy, but
Kennedy just looked hooked up. Looked like they had that cart working exactly how they wanted to.
I mean, that gap between him and Medeiros has stayed really the same throughout that whole race.
Yeah, it certainly did. I think Medeiros just controlling the pace, controlling everything, making sure it played exactly how they wanted it to. A really, really good run there. You gotta love to see that.
Yeah, and we get to see the Big Brothers come up next.
Yep, that we do. Getting ready here for ROK GP Pro, powered by Velocity Racing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what, or if anybody's been able to do something to catch Blake Nash.
Yeah, Nash has been the dominant force here in that. All right, I do think we're going to have a little bit of cleanup here. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and pay the bills. We'll be back right after this.
Years ago, Bill Wright began the Florida Winter Tour to break up the slow winter months for karters, and as the word spread, the tour grew. Importers, teams, manufacturers, and drivers alike all came to Florida to prepare for the upcoming season. One weekend became 2, and the fun became serious fun. Since then, the karting season has started with the Florida Winter Tour, where teams compete to establish dominance for the coming summer. Drivers from all over the world look to make their name and leave their mark on the national scene, much like Pato Award, Enzo Fittipaldi, and others have done in Florida Winter Tours of the past. The original Florida Winter Tour, the series that made karting a year-round sport in North America and where tomorrow's superstar drivers are discovered. 27 years later, you can still go karting and have some serious fun. Are you ready to join the action?
They enter into the acceleration zone. Green flag flies. We are racing. Big slide farther back in the pack. Couple of micros going a little bit slideways, but they're going to hold it together. Pressure from Luca Besseril. Besseril looks inside for speed. Now down into turn 4. Got it. This position going to go to the inside of turn 1. Got it. The lead of it. Whoa, cross back, crossover.
I don't think battling each other is the way to go right here.
Oh, almost a little bit of a swiggle there for Trusho in that purple cart. Here comes Delbon to the line. Look at him, he's so excited. Welcome back to the ROK Cup Florida Winter Tour here at the Orlando Kart Center for round 2 of that Florida Winter Tour. We get ready for ROK GP Pro, powered by Velocity Racing, with Blake Nash on pole position. Caden McQueen, Diego Ardiles, and Victor de Alencar, your top 4. Dominic Karai in 5th position. You're going to have to see how they play each other out and how this is going to go in terms of this, because Blake Nash has been the dominant force in this series in that Nash Motorsports machine. Going to have to see just how he is and just how well he is able to keep on this lead. He's had a pretty commanding control of the field, but we'll have to wait Figure out exactly what he's able to do as time goes along. Again, starting on that inside lane, watch for Nash, watch for Ardias, and watch for Karai. Those outside lane down into turn 1 has just not been the most successful area to get that to go. We get a great view of the starting stand here. Nash on your left, McQueen on your right. Into the start zone, Nash gets on the loud pedal. Here we go, racing. Everybody trying to jump down to that low side. It looked like McQueen, and we've got 2 karts spun around already. That's the 317 of Tyler Dick. I didn't get an idea who the other one was. McQueen has done the unthinkable, been able to hold on to P2. Looks like that's the 393 of Ardias in P3, so that's going to be your top 3 running in the top 3 from the drop of the green flag. Here they come down into turn 9. Maybe a little bit of a maneuver there. Not seeing a whole lot of it. Nash trying to pull away here. 1 kart way off into the dirt on the exit of the junkyard turn. They'll be able to keep going. McQueen on a little bit of pressure from behind. Ardias giving a hand signal behind. That may have been a little bit of a give me a push. That may have also been relieving some of that tape off of that left side, that driver's left radiator that we talk about quite often in the GP series. They dive down into turn 1. I already see 1 kart pulled off to the side. Karai was able to get a position over to Alencar on that first lap. Other than that, no real changes up in your top 5. It's relatively spread out, all things considered here for ROK GP Pro, powered by Velocity Racing. Taking those karts all the way to the exit of turn 9, seeing how they can go. That was a little bit of a squiggle there for Ardias. Not sure if that was maybe trying to get a little more heat in the tires or what that was. McQueen gets a better run here, going on to Nash, but loses time going down into corner of turn 11 and 13. 3 kart breakaway up front. Nash, McQueen, Ardias. Ooh, that was a hard hit there for McQueen, but it's not going to stop him. He goes down to the inside of Nash. He gets it done. Stops the car at the apex. Nash looks to the inside. Ardias looks to the inside. Nash losing 2 positions in 2 corners. Almost gets forced off the track. Does get forced off the track. And now Alencar's going to get involved in this. Nash holds him off, though. Nash holds on to second, able to get a great move back on Diego Ardias. More tape flying off the karts as McQueen looks ahead. Pushing his way on, but I don't think this is out of trouble yet for Blake Nash. 393 of Ardias, definitely starting to push in behind Blake Nash right now. He's going to try to see if there's anything to play for. Going down into turn 1, everybody stays single file order. Alencar in 4th. Karai a little bit off the pace there in 5th. Look down to the inside for Ardias. Blake Nash with the crossback. He's going to try to get it. Opens up the door, can't get it. Ardias now has the position. Looking to come back around is Alencar. Nash shuffled down to 3rd. Tries to go for that maneuver down into turn 9. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he is, but Ardias able to fight back. Ardias just much better off of turn 9. Here comes Nash fighting back on him, though. And there Ardias loses a little bit of momentum and falls back through the order. But looks, contact! He goes slipping and sliding somehow by some miracle sent from above. Holds onto the cart, and now Alencar is going to try to hold on to it. My goodness, is this very scruffy here early on in this battle farther back in the pack.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had to go check some stuff out on the track real quick. Yeah, I'm shocked that Blake's been so dominant, and now McQueen is checked out to a little over 2 seconds. So let's see now that Blake's got a little bit of open track here, if he's going to be able to close down on Caden.
He's going to try to. I'm not sure how successful he's going to be. 2 seconds, the gap.
Well, we'll see what. Blake hasn't had clean track yet, so this is his first lap that he's going to have clean track. So let's see what his lap time is going to be compared to Caden's here, who's in the lead. But we know that 3.24 of Nash has been very fast.
Quick check there for our DS. Nash just sitting the fastest lap of the race with a 53.04.
2/10 faster, so if he can continue doing that, he'll be, several laps will be right there up on the Queen.
Yeah. See if he's able to do it. The gap is under 2 seconds now.
Yeah, so it's going to make it for an exciting race right here. So, but definitely the battle's going to be for the final podium spot between those three back there with Abilis, the Allen Carr, and Karai.
Yeah, Diaz trying to see what he's able to get. Allen Carr, Karai, Carvajal, also not too far back. Pierce Jasso, a name that we've called a few times over the course of this weekend, looking pretty strong there as well with the 7th place run.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think any of these karts have a chance to get on the podium. It's just going to depend on how much slicing and dicing we're going to see with those the spots 3, 4, 5, 6 on back.
Checking in on your leader here, Caden McQueen. 1.7 seconds ahead as they cross the line over Blake Nash.
Another 2/10 knocked off. So, and we have 11, 13 laps left.
Yeah.
So, new Nash, 13 times. Yeah, Nash will be up there. A little look over the shoulder right there, so McQueen knows that Nash is coming. So we got to see if he's going to respond and start putting some fast laps down.
Yeah, he's got to respond here. Let's see what it is as Cade McQueen's going to cross over the stripe.
Even our Diaz is turning some fast laps as well. So yeah, it should be another 10th down. Yep.
Yeah, it's down to 1.5 between Nash and McQueen. I think for our Diaz, he's really hustling that cart. If you see him, he's very much willing that cart forward, doing the little hop that we like to see sometimes, trying to minimize that wheel spin, get a little bit more forward momentum in the cart. McQueen just looks like he is trying to drive as consistently as possible. That's the vibe I'm getting from the 395.
And the clock isn't lying. It's the exact same thing. 53.27, 53.29s. I mean, he's running very consistent lap times. The only issue is Blake's running consistently faster lap times.
Yeah. So here they go. We're going to check back on the battle for about 4th and 5th here, I think.
With the Allen Carr and Karai.
With, 3rd and 4th, the Allen Carr and Karai. There they are on your screen. Excuse me, that's actually the 393. That's our DS and Victor De Allen Carr. That's 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, not much going on there. They look kind of settled in. Check back, yeah, so McQueen's definitely picking his pace up a little bit here, knowing that Nash is starting to make a charge on him. Not as much of a chunk into that lead that has been happening on previous laps.
Definitely not. There it is. Going back to the battle for 1 and 2. There you see it. That's 2 and 3 right there on your screen. McQueen just flashing on by. Blake Nash coming on through.
Yeah, he closed up a lot right there.
Yeah, set the fastest lap of the race. First driver to tickle down into those 52s.
Yeah, you can physically see that just on the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, he got the gap down by about 3/10 on that last lap. So he is definitely coming on strong here.
Yeah, the Allen Carr went his best that last lap as well. So karts are starting to come in right now. We'll just see if Blake Nash can continue setting purple after purple and kind of dive into that lead that McQueen has.
Let's see if he's able to do it. I mean, we've got about 8.5 minutes left on the clock, so there's still plenty of time here for Nash to do this.
Oh, yeah, it's just a matter of time before he's on that back bumper. But we said this many a times. It's easy to catch, hard to pass. So
yes, it is. Especially with somebody's experience. There's that halfway signal being given by your flag man. That's what that was at the line. Nash has the gap under a second.
Yeah, he's coming.
He is definitely coming. All right, he's going to look down to the inside here. Here they go.
And McQueen's not running
slow laps.
No.
Yeah, McQueen's quick. Nash is just quicker, and that's not altogether unsurprising. Blake Nash was the fastest that we really saw over the course of the weekend. He was kind of the dominant force, and we've got to remember he would have finished on the podium last time we were here were it not for an avoidable contact penalty that cost him 3 positions.
Yeah, and that was all into the wet too, so I mean that's hard, the avoidable contact rules.
3/4 of a second, the gap. Nash brought it down by about 2/10 on that last lap. 7 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, McQueen's got to start feeling it now.
Yeah.
Probably the next lap or two, you're going to start hearing that engine pitch change a little bit because you got a kart coming.
Yep. As you said earlier, you can kind of hear that harmonization that goes on in the engine as they get a little bit closer.
Absolutely.
Right, down into turn 10. A little surreptitious look behind there for Caden McQueen as he just checks behind him, makes sure he knows where Nash is.
And it's not like Nash is faster in one section or the other, just a tick faster everywhere on the track, and it just adds up to that. You know, he was 2/10 faster every single lap.
It's consistent quickness here from Blake Nash. Eggman Brada, by the way, able to get a position over Nicholas Buchanan, back down to 8th and 9th. That battle taking place. This really the closest battle that we've got on the track. We really want to keep our eyes here on this.
You know, the things that are interesting too is, you know, we've seen some of these guys run multiple classes, and I think Caden is one that runs the VLR Junior as well as the ROK GP Senior. All Blake's doing is running this class.
Yep.
So is being able to focus all your time on one kart, is that what we're seeing here as a little bit of a difference?
I certainly think it could be. You know, he's able to fine-tune this kart a little bit more. The flip side of that is by running 2 series, Caden does get a little bit more track time, so he may learn the nuances of the track a little bit more, but I think Blake is probably able to learn the nuances of that Nash Motorsports kart a little bit.
Yeah, and they've had so many laps around this track in the last 6 weeks that I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's but as we can see right now, Blake's definitely cut this down within 3/10 right now, and he's 2/10 fast to that last lap, so it's just been a matter of time before he caught up on the back bumper of Caden right there in that 395.
Keep going here. Down to the braking zone for turn 10. Nash has a little bit more of a narrow line, under 5 minutes left to go. Come through 11 and 12. Caden McQueen took a little bit more curb there on the entrance into turn 11. Not sure if that's going to hurt him or not. Comes across the line right now.
Pretty equal there. Didn't gain that 2/10 that he's been gaining.
And he lost a little bit. I think he dove too deep into turn 1 and as a result washed up the track a little bit coming through 2.
This is going to be interesting. He caught him methodically. And let's see what McQueen can do to respond. Looks like McQueen pulled out a little bit there.
Yeah, responding when he needs to. Again, and we've talked about this before about the lack of desire to drive behind you, looking behind you. I haven't seen McQueen really give that many glances behind him. What he's doing is something you had talked about. Gap actually expanding up to 4/10 on this last time, is through some of these hairpins. You can see him kind of overlooking the corner, and so that just gives him a view of Nash in his periphery.
Yeah, Nash had a good run right there through 5, but I'm a little shocked here. I thought, you know, Nash was going to make pretty easy work of McQueen, just being consistently 2/10 faster. But as Blake caught up to the 395, he slowed down. And I don't know, is that something that we heard from yesterday, the aero push?
Yeah. I mean, it's a term we don't often talk about in karting, but aero wash, I think, is maybe a little bit of a thing here for Blake Nash. He does look like he's able to close up through this final sector on the track. Loses a little bit on the exit there of turn 13. Let's see what the gap is as they cross the line. It's come down about 0.08 of a second. It's down to 3/10 here for Nash and McQueen.
Really close in there.
Yeah.
getting through 5 really well. Into 6 here. Going through that big sweeper of 7. But Queen looks really strong coming out of 6 through 7 and into 8. But let's see. I don't think he's close enough to make an attack going into 9.
Lost a little bit of time through 7. Again, probably as a result of that arrow wash that we talked about, that arrow push that comes a little bit. That's the main corner that happens in. Because that is such a fast, high commitment corner.
Well, he got through 9 or 10 very well. This is the closest he's been so far in this race. And he got a little battle back there for the podium spot between the 393 of Diego Ardiles and then 357 of Victor Allen car.
Yeah, that'll be a little bit of a battle as well. Yeah. Only a couple of tenths separating the two of them, so we'll kind of do a little bit of chameleon eyes, keeping an eye on both of those. Minute and 30 left to go, ostensibly 4 laps for these drivers, 3 to go at the line.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating for Blake, too, sitting back there in second, seeing yourself, reeling in McQueen, and then finally get to where you need to be, and then just stop.
Yeah, this is Ardiles and De Allen car. Battle for the final podium position in 3rd, jumping back up to the front here. Blake looks like, again, just loses time coming through 13. It really looks like you're watching this battle a little bit closer, Jason, that it's any area that Nash needs to make that overtake. He's just not able to get it done.
Yeah, it seems like the front of the cart is washing out on those high-speed areas. And as much as people can't believe this, and I was as shocked as you were in Galley about the arrow wash with this new body work, this has proven that to be true.
Yeah. It's what Greg Kramer likes to call false grip in the way that it goes, because it can disappear on you all of a sudden, and I think that's happening to Blake Nash here.
I mean, we're going to get 2 to go at the line, I believe. Might be 3.
I think it's 3 because they were exiting turn 2 with about 57 seconds left to go, so I think it's going to be barely 3 laps to go.
But McQueen is doing a great job at responding to the attack by Nash here. And keeping that gap, expanding on it a little bit there. And McQueen's doing what he needs to do, is keeping enough gap on Nash where he doesn't have to sit there and play defensive.
Exactly. So he's going to keep trying to go here.
Slideways there, coming through that 7 sweeper, down the back straightaway into 10 here. Really not mounting any challenge quite yet, not like I was expecting.
No, I would have expected Blake to be fully attacking here, but he's just not. He just doesn't have the oomph to close it down.
Yeah, and I just looked kind of caught in the back there with 3 and 4 with the Allen car. Looked like he was all over the back of Ardiles there, but
2 laps to go for both drivers. Caden McQueen holding a 0.5 of a second advantage. And Kart has been able to get by Caraval here.
Yeah, I don't think Blake has it.
I don't think he does either. He needs a mistake here from Caden McQueen. That may be the only way he's going to get past.
Yeah, I am very surprised. And he's extended the gap even more now to a 0.5 second. Blake is doing everything he can because he can see the gap getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then this is where the section where McQueen is actually faster at as well.
Yeah, despite taking a little bit more of that curbing through 11, that did kind of concern me a little bit. But he's got it. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Caden McQueen. And it's now or never time if you're Blake Nash.
Oh! It was coming from way back there, but hey, got on the binders,
no contact,
got up on the curb.
A very over-opportunistic maneuver. It has
Last-ditch effort right there is what that was. I mean,
there goes McQueen.
Great run by McQueen. Way to stay focused. Way to stay poised, knowing you have a cart coming up behind you that's faster, and just consistently put down lap time after lap time within a couple tenths of each other.
Yeah, just calm, cool, collected the whole way through. As there is Caden McQueen giving a big pat to the Kart. He has got the victory.
Yeah, congrats Energy Kart for that. That was a great run by those guys. Great job by McQueen right there. Just dominant the whole race.
Yeah, I mean, really couldn't be touched, and we thought this was Blake Nash's one to win. There he gives him a good thumbs up. Good competition there between the two. Respect among drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. That was amazing. Our little Monto, did we take it down because of the wind?
Might have, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite windy out there today because, as you know, we
got a storm coming
through, and I saw they moved the Daytona 500 up an hour.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
So, are they just trying to get to that halfway point so they can call it?
Yep. As we're halfway through our coverage here.
We do have I think that's Tyler Dick there with a cart that needs to be picked up.
All right, that does mean with everybody going around, we will take a quick commercial break, pay a few bills, and we will be back.
27 years ago, Bill Wright began the Florida Winter Tour to break up the slow winter months for karters, and as the word spread, the tour grew. Importers, teams, manufacturers, and drivers alike all came to Florida to prepare for the upcoming season. One weekend became two, and the fun became serious fun. Since then, the karting season has started with the Florida Winter Tour, where teams compete to establish dominance for the coming summer. Drivers from all over the world look to make their name and leave their mark on the national scene, much like Pato Award, Enzo Fittipaldi, and others have done in Florida Winter Tours of the past. The original Florida Winter Tour, the series that made karting a year-round sport in North America and where tomorrow's superstar drivers are discovered. 27 years later, you can still go karting and have some serious fun. Are you ready to join the action?
Hey, Jason Ewers here, back with you with ROK Cup USA. I have Ryan Norberg here. Everyone knows who Ryan is with Rawlinson Performance Group, aka RPG. As we've been doing, we're kind of highlighting some of our class sponsors. They are our VLR Junior class sponsor. Ryan, tell us a little bit about RPG, things you guys offer, chassis you guys use, and so forth.
We are the distributor of the Cosmic chassis. We are one of the best teams in the nation. We travel to pretty much every race, every National Series race that there is in the United States. We range from all classes, from micro, mini, all the way up to shifter. So we cover all the spectrum. The thing that we really focus on is always just making sure everybody has coaching. We really focus on the drivers and making sure that they have the right equipment so that when they're at the racetrack, they're really only focusing on their driving. And so for us, we always make sure we have the best coaches, the best staff, and the best people around all of our drivers so that they are well taken care of and ready to go on the racetrack and just focus on them, and not have to really worry about much after that.
Well, as a racer like you are, how hard is it for you to not be involved in races that are more of the national level race and have to sit back and be that kind of coach?
For me, it's fun. I like to really see the drivers, develop and learn because, at the smaller stuff, it's the same attitude that we take into it. We're all still trying the same amount and we're all really giving everything that we can. But I enjoy it. I love being able to work with the drivers and see their development, especially when we do go to some of the larger races at the end of the year, seeing, how much progress they made from the previous year. And, you see that fire and the drivers kind of light up. And, that's something that we really, focus on with our team. We're always, prioritizing how the drivers respond on the racetrack and how they develop.
Yeah, I know yesterday we walked in to try to see if we can interview, and you were busy with one of your drivers. So when you guys are going over the data, what kind of things are you doing with the driver there, coaching them?
Well, obviously, we're doing more than just like looking at the data and comparing, the engines and stuff. We do the video review, but we really try to, see more of the fundamental side of things, like how can we improve your skills so that, you can almost go on the track and figure it out on your own. That's what I really think we do well, is teaching the drivers the tools that they need to use at all the racetracks. Nothing is the same anywhere you go, but if you can get the tools to learn, like when the kart does X, I do Y, and that's really what's helpful. But that's what I like to coach about, is just, really get the guys set up for, the next scenario, the next race.
That's awesome. As you guys can hear, the engines are firing up. We're about ready to head off to qualifying. Ryan, thank you so much. Thank you guys for your sponsorship. One last thing, how do people get a hold of you if they want to enjoy some RPG?
Yeah, reach out to Mike Rollison on Instagram, Facebook. We have all the social stuff, so you can definitely get in contact with us through there.
Fantastic. Good luck.
All right, we are back after that great ROK GP senior race right there. We're working our way into a little bit smaller people here with the ROK Mini, sponsored by AM Engines. Been a very exciting little class here. We talk about how experienced these little kids are, and they're giving us pretty much the best racing that we see out here on the track. So we'll see what happens as we get to the line here. We haven't switched over yet, but as we mentioned, we do have some weather coming in. So we are going ready racing, skipping our lunch break to try to get all the events in under a dry condition. Good call from the VLR ROK management group here to put dry conditions for everybody. All right, as we line up down the back stretch here. Yeah, the wind is really picking up. Not sure if you guys can see that or not. You can hear it. Yeah, it's definitely picking up out there. So as the karts get lined up here, going through turn 10, doing a great job. Slow is what we like to see. And I got my counterpart back. You didn't get blown away out there?
No, I almost did. I was a little bit surprised by how much wind there was. There is definitely a storm brewing, as we would say back in the Midwest.
They really got that slowed down and lined up a little early. Yeah. I was like, this is going to take, don't they know what ready racing is, guys? Let's go. We've got rain coming.
All right, so Alex Chandler will be starting off in the pole position here ahead of Jaden Francisco. Cooper Lorenzo Lopez, another one to watch out for. Lorenzo Lopez and Francisco in those two red karts that you see. Chandler, a little bit of a sneak to get up in there. Not one that we expected. We really expected Francisco or Lorenzo Lopez to have it.
Yeah, it was a good little three-kart battle in that pre-final yesterday. Let's see if Chandler can hold them off here from that pole position and see what happens.
Waved off start there. One of the karts not fully in.
That's not waved off.
Yeah, it is.
It is waved off. Okay. I can't see because I have a camera there.
No, there you go. But
yeah, I didn't see exactly what was going on there, but
I think we had one kart that was trailing in behind, and it wasn't necessarily.
How could there be a kart trailing behind when they lined up on coming out of 9? There's our fire back there. I mean, the racing is so hot over here that it's causing fires to go everywhere here. Not sure what's going on there, but folks, I assure you that that's further away than it looks.
As a Californian, I heard that way too many times over the past month and a half, and I'm not here for it.
You're a transplant Californian.
I am a transplant Californian.
You're a Hoosier by heart.
I am a Hoosier by heart. I have the Hoosier State over my heart. But
you sure it's not IMS?
No, it's definitely the state of Indiana.
State of Indiana.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Lining them back up again. Let's see if Chandler can keep them in check here. It's going to take 10, 20 minutes for them to get back to the start-finish line at this pace. But we'll eventually get there, folks.
Yep. As we said before, by the way, this is going to be 14 plus 2 here because we are in the mini category, again, presented by AM Engines.
All right, as we've been doing, picking some dark horses here. Who you thinking?
This one's a little bit tough because I think we've really seen the top 3 be the ones to beat here. But I think if there is a calamity up at the front, we may see Camila Kanash be able to do something. She has been very consistent this weekend. It hasn't been mind-blowing speed or anything like that. That may be one. The other one, who had a bad pre-final but may be good to move their way up in the final itself, Colton Scheeningberg, could be one to be able to get his way forward. That number 117 has had some speed, just didn't have a good pre-final.
My money is on that 106, Santiago Orioli.
Orioli's another one to watch out for. The
just
Colombian definitely has some speed.
Had some issues with some heat
Venezuela.
races, and the other one is Luca Besseril.
Yeah.
Another name that we've mentioned quite a few times. So, all right, as our dial on our watches click to midnight now, because it took the kids forever to get around, but perfectly lined up. Good job there by Alex Chandler. I think we're going green.
We are into the acceleration zone. Green flag in the air. No wave off. We are good and clear. Holds the line for Chandler. Farther back in the field to try to sort themselves out. We got to get a view of who this is coming up ahead, as it looks like there. That's going to be Francisco trying to make a little bit of a run. Cooper Lorenzo Lopez getting swallowed up as things go along, and they try to continue on out. Couple of carts going up and over the grass there, but everybody's clean and green going down out of turn 6.
Yeah, Chandler's now. Let's see if they can learn from our 206 fellas and maybe just team up. No, it's a longer race.
Chandler's been passed here.
Yeah,
That's
he got passed.
Francisco. Now I believe Salazar runs in 3rd.
Yeah, let's see what Chandler can do. If he can respond, just hang back, be patient.
Big surprise off of the drop of the green flag here to me is Cooper Lorenzo Lopez dropping 2 positions down into 5th place. That's a big drop for one of the contenders here early on.
Yeah, it's that top 3 is definitely built a nice little gap there. If they play it smart, they can continue to build on that and then not give the rest of the field a chance to catch up to them.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got a good enough breakaway that they may be able to do it. Asher Pavin about a 1.5 seconds behind Nico Salazar, and truly here Francisco and Chandler starting to even create a gap over Nico Salazar. This could be a 2-horse race before we're even a quarter of the way through this race.
Yeah, and then speaking of races, my dark horse there, Orioli, went up 3 spots already to 8th.
Yeah, Colton Scheeningberg also did a very good job of going up 2 positions up into 11th. It does look like, unfortunately, Camille Kanash, one of the drivers that we did point out, down 3. So a little bit of mixed fortune there, but 14-minute race, plenty of time to go. We keep our eyes fixed on Francisco and Chandler, this battle for the lead. That red cart, the 131, that is Francisco. Chandler, the one chasing.
Yeah, so we've got Chandler in the Tony Kart from Iron Rock. Really kind of a surprise at the pre-final. Kind of mentioned him a little bit, but drove a really great race. Able to come out with the victory. That was just such a good pre-final that we had between Lopez, Francisco, and Chandler. And I'm looking here, and I'm trying to see where is Lopez?
He's down
all the way
through the
down
order
to
14th.
Wow. I don't know what happened there. It's so hard for us, with the liveries all kind of the same, and it's very difficult to determine what happens at the starts. But obviously not the start that Lopez wanted.
No, I think he just got swamped. I think it's truthful as that. We saw a big bit of a stack up going into turn 6 on lap 1, and I think they absolutely got swamped as they went on through.
Yeah, and I like what Chandler's doing here. Not really challenging for position. And that allows them to run the fastest lines around this track to be able to build that lead that they need. And just like we've said before in the other races, as Penske says, battle it out with just a few to go.
Exactly. That's really the position you want to find yourself in. Chandler not being hyper-aggressive on this, letting Francisco really dictate the pace of this race as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, if I'm right, I think Francisco is on a nitro card. He's a privateer, so he's not with one of those bigger teams.
Does indeed. Yeah, that is a Nitro Kart. You can see the branding on that. So always kind of love to see that. That's one of the great spirits of racing, that you're always going to have the big mammoth monumental teams that come in and really dominate, but there's always a bit of a hunger, and if you're anything like me, as a Los Angeles Angels fan, you're always going to cheer for the underdog. So, kind of cheering for that privateer. You may have it here in Jaden Francisco.
I'm a Cubs fan, so
there you go. Same deal.
But what's interesting, though, is, we have the two leaders sitting here, and neither one of them are from mega teams. You have Iron Rock sitting back there with Chandler on that Tony kart. Then the lead, you have the privateer of Francisco on that Nitro kart. So, if people are out there, it always helps to be with larger teams just because of the data and the support and the coaching that you get. But this has proven that it's not impossible to be successful if you want to do your own little thing as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's certainly a way to be able to do it, and you can have success with it if you've got the speed and the talent to be able to bring that on through, just like we're seeing from Francisco and Chandler. They are all up on each other here at this point, almost nothing between them as they continue to try to go, working their way down across the start-finish straight.
And I think the closest race we have here is between Besseril, my man Orioli, and I believe Colton, the 117.
Yeah, Schillingberg in third in line there. Orioli into the lead. Besseril. Besseril's slow.
Happened.
That's the 145.
Off track with Besseril. Maybe we shouldn't go to people.
Maybe not. But yeah, something there. That looks mechanical to me from Besseril.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Through a chain. I mean, not much can happen with these engines. They've got these things so dialed in these days. If anything happens, it's usually just a functionality of a chain.
Yeah, back up to the lead of the race here. Jaden Francisco, Alex Chandler. Moving their way ahead. They have dropped Nico Salazar like a bad habit. That gap is over 2 seconds here at this point. Just ticking off the laps right now as they continue to go. And again, I like what I'm seeing here out of Chandler. He's not overdriving the kart. He's keeping things together, just doing what he needs to do in order to keep, for lack of a better term, pressure to the back of Jaden Francisco. Francisco knows he's there. He's not looking behind as if he's got to worry about anything, but he's just working his way on through. Here he comes. Down into turn 9. No moves from Chandler. Francisco continues to just drive his line.
Yeah, it's very impressive with these young kids. Chandler's very comfortable sitting back there in second place, just not fighting, not battling. I'm going to realize these kids are so young.
Yeah.
And being able to have that thought process and experience already in racing, understanding that it's the fastest thing for us to do is just work together.
Yeah, it's really good heads-up. Problems there for Colton Schillingberg. Looks like he's fallen down. Camilo Canache and Melville dos Santos have gained a couple of positions there. Cooper Lorenzo Lopez has had something gone wrong.
Yeah.
He is all the way down the order here.
That's such a shame, too. Had such great pace in the pre-final. Yeah, that's we got Cameron Johnson there with that Franklin Kart Shop Merlin sitting back in fifth. Good run for Cameron podiumed last week at SCUSA. Ended up with a second. I'm sure if they've been struggling. I talked to Cameron's engineer, and they've been trying to find the pace that they've been wanting to find. Just haven't been able to find it this week. But they kept digging and kept fighting, and now they're going to hopefully end up in the top 5. Has a little bit of gap over Orioli, my dark horse right there in 6th. But I don't think anybody has anything for Chandler and Francisco.
No, that gap's already over 3.5 seconds here, and with 5.5 minutes left to go, that gap is probably unattainable for the rest of the field, provided these two don't get into a monumental scrap and get into the sides of one another, frankly. Here comes Francisco down that back straightaway. There's the first look behind I've seen from Jaden Francisco in really quite a while. Just that surreptitious glance behind him to see where Chandler is. Like you said earlier, he knows he's there. He knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, these kids have raced so much together, just not through ROK or through SCUSA or, USPKS, but, they run probably every weekend together.
Yeah.
So they know the tendencies for each other. They know how to race, and, they're doing a methodical race right now.
Yeah, just very, very by the book, nothing too crazy. 4.5 minutes left to go, plus 2 laps, obviously. Yeah, not even the whiff of an attack there for Alex Chandler on Jaden Francisco. And if you're Francisco, you've got to be a little bit worried here. Chandler's got the speed to be able to get this overtake done. He's just waiting.
Yeah, just, it's kind of, I don't know. But Francisco's not being shaken at all by it.
No, he's
not making any mistakes, hitting his marks, driving a great race, not being defensive yet. So we'll see what happens when he becomes defensive. And Chandler's being very respectful, not giving him the old chrome horn, as like we like to call it in the old days, and allowing them to just kind of, obviously, second now the game again on third place Salazar, who's obviously out there on an island on his own. And then you got Pavan behind him.
Yeah, they're really in their own scrap. And truthfully, this is our closest battle on the track. Everything else has really kind of spread itself out a little bit.
Yeah, not much going on right now, so my creativity is running low in the conversation. But
this is come over and do endurance racing with me, buddy. That's when you get the fun stuff coming out.
Oh, that's a good time. But just to kind of put in perspective on how fast these little kids are, they're running under 1 minute. And then if you look at our Pro GP class, I believe they're running pretty close to the same times that they were. Let's see what our Pro GP was doing that last race.
I think Pro GP may have been down into the 52s.
52, so let's see here. Pro GP. Yeah, 52.91. But let's go to the 100cc VLR from yesterday. Sitting here on the pre-final, the senior VLR is a 56.02. So, I mean, they are not that far off for being 10, 11 years old.
No, and we got to keep in mind here, this is a pretty remarkable amount of speed these guys are doing, these kids are doing. This is not easy. To be able to control a cart like this at these speeds, this is quick stuff. And so it's very, very impressive to have the wherewithal, to have the heads up, to be able to play like this, and to be able to drive this precisely for this long. 14 minutes plus 2 laps may not seem like a lot, but you get behind the wheel of one of these carts, and it's a lot real quick.
Yeah, I'm just so impressed with the poise of that 196 of Alex Chandler. Comfortable with second place right now, knowing that he can probably get around Francisco at any point in time, but that's what we thought about Blake Nash.
Yeah.
Maybe Chandler's giving him everything he can, just enough to be able to stay on the back of Francisco. Don't know, but we're going to find out here in about 3 minutes.
We are, as they'll come across the stripe here. I believe this will be 4 laps to go. Maybe
4
3.
laps. Yeah, that'll be 4.
Very tight on time. No, they're running 59s, and they crossed over at 57, so that's going to be
3 laps.
That's 3 laps.
Yeah, so this is where, all right, we're going to probably start seeing Francisco run a little bit of more defensive line.
Yep.
And make that cart really, really wide.
Yep, and in contrast to that, we're going to see Chandler start to take a few more of those opportunities, poke and prod, see where he can go, see what they're able to do. No move down into turn 9.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything until 2 to go, or 1 to go, unless the door is wide open.
Yeah, unless Francisco leaves that door open, I wouldn't take that opportunity if I was Chandler, because I know the speed that Francisco has, and I know that he's got the ability to fight back on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, to the stripe. 2 laps to go. Flag given by the flagman.
I mean, you could throw a twin-size sheet over these two this entire race. I mean, there hasn't been more than 2 to 3 feet gap between those two kids at any point in time throughout this 14-lap race.
No, there really hasn't. And for both of these drivers, it's very impressive to see them as they continue to try to push their way through.
And the consistency, I mean, Francisco did a 59.68, 59.68. I mean, and then same thing with Chandler, 59.64, 59.66. Just a couple hundredths faster. You know, I compare this to thoroughbred racing, you know.
Yeah.
Is Chandler pulling the reins back, and at what point in time is he going to let the reins loose?
Yeah. Here we go. It's now or never time to let those reins loose because the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for your ROK Mini final.
And hats off to Francisco going best lap, last lap of the race almost. So
he knows when he's got to do it. Chandler is losing ground.
Yeah.
He has been all over the rear bumper here of Francisco, and Francisco putting that power down and starting to pull ahead.
Maybe Francisco was the one that was holding the reins back.
Maybe, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Down to
look
turn
at this.
7.
I thought we were going to mount for a good battle here, but definitely looks like that privateer on that nitro chassis. Unless something happens, go down defensive, but it doesn't look like a good run by Chandler out of 9 into 10. Close that gap up a little bit, but not enough to take advantage of a pass at any time soon here.
No, just not
Little
able to get it into
there.
13. He's got it. Francisco's got it. Comes to the
Great
line at the
run.
end of lap
Congratulations,
16.
Jaden.
He will take victory. Patting the Kart. Jaden Francisco, your victor in the ROK Mini final.
Yeah, what a great race. Methodically played. Both guys worked well together and built up a nice 7-second lead over Salazar. All right. Wrapping up the little kids until we hit
Right.
the VLR Juniors, which is one of my favorite races. But we have a couple between, or one between, the old guys.
Yep, the ROK VLR Masters powered by our Rocket Racing Company.
Oh, I love that helmet.
Oh, it's a good one.
Very well. I wonder who the paint design is on that. Who painted that? Looks good. It's tiny. There's Cameron right there in that Franklin Motorsports. Good 5th place finish there for Cameron. I knew they're kind of struggling a little bit this weekend, but hey, I'll take a top 5 any time of the day.
Oh, 100%. Good points going on into the next round.
Going to get that number 1 plate here in a second to put in his seat. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, they put the finger in the air. Number 1 there for Jaden Francisco. Love that. Love seeing that that heads-up camaraderie, hugs, high fives all the way through. All right, we've got a couple of carts to recover here, so we're going to go ahead and pay a few bills here momentarily while the drivers get themselves set. We'll be back with you shortly for ROK VLR Masters.
27 years ago, Bill Wright began the Florida Winter Tour to break up the slow winter months for karters. And as the word spread, the tour grew. Importers, teams, manufacturers, and drivers alike all came to Florida to prepare for the upcoming season. One weekend became 2, and the fun became serious fun. Since then, the karting season has started with the Florida Winter Tour, where teams compete to establish dominance for the coming summer. Drivers from all over the world look to make their name and leave their mark on the national scene, much like Pato Award, Enzo Fittipaldi, and others have done in Florida Winter Tours of the past. The original Florida Winter Tour, the series that made karting a year-round sport in North America, and where tomorrow's superstar drivers are discovered. 27 years later, you can still go karting and have some serious fun. Are you ready to join the action?
As they enter into the acceleration zone, green flag flies. We are racing. Big slide farther back in the pack. Couple of micros going a little bit sideways, but they're going to hold it together. Pressure from Luca Besseril. Besseril looks outside for speed. Now down into turn 4. Got it. This position going to go to the inside of turn 1. Got it. The lead of it. Whoa, cross back, crossover.
I don't think battling each other is the way to go right here.
Oh, almost a little bit of a swiggle there from Trusho in that purple cart. Here comes Del Bon to the line. Look at him, he's so excited. Welcome back to the ROK Cup Florida Winter Tour, round number 2 from the Orlando Kart Center as we get ready for the ROK VLR Masters category powered by Rocket Racing Company. We went from some of the youngest to some of the oldest out on track, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a bit of fantastic racing action, because between names like Paul Elefante, Mark Pavin, Martin, and of course Johnny Ruck and Scott Falcone, this promises to be a fascinating race.
Yeah, Falcone not doing what we thought he was going to do, but he's got a little bit more competition this week than he had the last time he was here. So Elefante's been kind of the fastest kart all weekend. Struggled with some in-racing incidences, but showed what he had in the pre-final.
He's been fast, but he's been error-prone, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens now with him starting from pole, where he doesn't have to work through some of the traffic. But, you know, in his defense, he did say, you know, his closing speed on some of the other karts is so fast that I think it does catch him off guard, and that's when he has to lock his brakes up, and that's when he spins. And he mentioned that in his interview, or before his interview yesterday. It's like, I would much rather spin myself out than take somebody else out. So.
Which is the sign of a good competitor. But here they come. It's going to be Elefante to your left and Pavon to your right. They bring their way down into the start zone. Elefante gets us going as here we go, 17 minutes plus 2 laps. Good clean start for Elefante. Little bit of bumping and banging farther back in the field. Cagliaro is going to be able to move his way up into third and secure that position. Elefante trying to press his advantage early.
Yeah, this is going to be, although, I mean, we're sitting there with Pavance not letting Elefante check out, and that's what he needs to do. Try to work as hard as you can to stay on that back bumper, because the last thing you want to do is let Paul just have a free run.
Yeah, exactly. If he's out in clean air, he's able to run those clean, consistent laps, it may be game over for the rest of the field. But Vaughn looking like he's got a little bit of a run here. Not going to press his advantage on it, but definitely going to stay in line. Martin is the other one that I'm going to be interested about, currently working on the back of Cagliaro.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with
got him. He got him already. He got Cagliaro there. So that means that that is going to be Martin up into third place, with Pavon putting pressure to the back of Paul Elefante. Cagliaro falls to fourth. Christian Vormir is fifth. Del Bon sixth. Scott Falcone seventh.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that Martin was like, I need to get around Cagliaro as fast as I can to try to get on the back of Pavon there. And maybe those two can work with each other to be able to keep the pace that Elefante's been showing us all weekend long.
Yeah. I mean, this has really kind of been either Martin or Elefante this entire time. That's really where we've been looking at. And so I think for Martin, now it's a question of how quickly can he get by Mark Pavon, and how quickly can this become a two-kart race.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we'll see how Elefante has his kart set up. Starting from the lead, you know, there's a couple strategies you can do. Is one, set the kart up, come early, get your gap on everybody, and then defend. or set your kart up, defend early, set it up for faster pace down the last half of the race. So we'll see if Elefante is going to start going purple. And Falcone just went purple from 7th place back there. And that's another name that we need to recognize. And just outside camera view there, that was a pass by Delbon on Vomir going through 5. But I believe that is Falcone right behind
It is
732 of Vomir. You know, good. Falcone just full send right there.
Yeah, and gets the position there over Vermeer. That's a good run.
I saw Christian about his like, I did not see that coming.
No, he certainly did not, but he was able to get the run on it and really make it work. Big hop, skip, and a jump there for Alexander Delbon, trying to will his kart forward on Adamar Calgaro. Move his way ahead here. Delbon's been another one that's been pretty quick, but has had some incidents over the course of this weekend that's really scuppered his results.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to not get a DNF in this progressive format that we see, because one DNF, you get no points for that, and that does you no justification in the pre-final.
Down to the inside, there goes Delbon trying to fight back. Is Caligaro, excuse me, I've been saying that wrong. Caligaro now not able to do it, and Delbon's going to move his way up forward. All right, as they come down through 8 into turn 9, not seeing an overtake attempt there. Up at the front of the field, Martin slowly pulling in on Pavan, but we've got to keep our eyes here, I'd say, on Scott Falcone closing in on the back of Caligaro, as that has the potential to be the next overtake we see.
Oh, yeah, I think Falcone has one vision, and that's going straight through this field.
Yep. Well, and that's a little bit what he did last time out when we were here about a month ago for round 1 of the Florida Winter Tour, as Falcone just kind of slowly but surely pieced his way through the field and was able to pick up victory.
Yeah, Martin just went purple by 2/10. So Lorenzo has his kart really going fast right now, but he's got to get around Pavan, and the question is going to go around, or is he just going to help push to try to catch Elefante?
It's going to be one or the other. I mean, there's no way around it, but I think here from Martin, what I would say is I'm the faster kart, and I would just try to push ahead as much as possible. There's that move on from Falcone, and Caligaro saying, no, push me, let's both work together. I don't think Falcone has any intention of doing that.
I have a feeling Falcone doesn't. I'm going to push through you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not going to work together. We'll see what happens there. But Falcone sitting back in 6th, but Martin needs to get around Pavan here because he is faster. But again, we just had Elefante set his fastest lap of the race as well and extended that gap by a couple of tenths. Still in the same camera view. Figure as long as you're in the same camera view, you got a shot.
Yeah,
once you're out of camera view,
that's when it gets a little bit sketchy. Whoa, big slide there for Martin, but he's able to catch it and actually gain time as a result of it.
He found the new line. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I think he caught the inside curb of turn 7. That caused the car to lose a little bit of traction, just able to drift his way through the corner, frankly, and make it work. But that means Martin is now ostensibly on the back there of Mark Pavan. Pavan making a little change to that carburetor, maybe trying to make it run a little leaner, maybe a little bit richer, not sure what it is, but he's fixing things on the fly.
Yeah, I can see him look down at his micron, so his temps must be off just a little bit there. Martin is just using all that track, trying to carry as much speed as he possibly can with that Techno kart.
Lost a little bit of speed there through 5. I think he clipped the curve a little bit more than he wanted to. It's going to grow the gap up to about 5 kart lengths.
Yeah, and you know, Elefante is either being patient. He's setting his fastest laps every lap, but Martin is just a tenth or two quicker than what Elefante is, but just not enough to close that gap down that much. But Elefante's not leaving that duo back there.
No, he's not. He's not leaving him behind, and so that's going to be a big carrot in the front of Lorenzo Martin if he's able to get on by Pavan here, especially with about 10 minutes left to go. He's able to get this pass done. He can then set his sights on Elefante and just try to push his way ahead.
Yeah, and the problem I'm seeing right now is Elefante can run consistent laps because there's nobody in front of him, where, you know, Mardan's going in and he's got to brake a little bit earlier or get off the gas a little bit earlier from stopping from hitting the back of Pavon, which is really kind of slowing Lorenzo down there in that 782. So he's getting to the time right now where he needs to make a move on Pavon there in second. If not, he's going to run out of just physical time to be able to catch Elefante.
Yeah, you're very right. There is a limited amount of time. Again, 17 minutes plus 2 laps, and that's down to 9.5 minutes plus 2 laps. And Mardan just kind of like we saw in some of the previous races, I think particularly in GP Pro, able to catch, but just not able to get that pass.
No, pushing a little too hard maybe, but the issue is Elefante's just getting fast lap after I mean,
yeah,
he's not setting purple, but he gets his bestest every single lap, and he's getting close to the fastest lap of the 57.16 by that 782 of Mardan. And I'm guessing probably he's going to go purple here this next lap.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And here for Elefante, he is very much a rhythm driver. That's kind of what I've been able to glean from him. You get him into that good zone, you get him into that good rhythm, he's going to start to press his advantage and pull away. If you're able to break that rhythm, get in his head a little bit, offset him, get him offline, that's where you can take advantage.
Yeah, and someone who gets in a good rhythm leading a race is just a bad combination for everybody on the track. Let's see what he's going to do here coming across the start-finish line.
It's going to come across right now. Did your prediction prove true?
Yep.
Yes, it did. 57.01.
Oh, but Pavon went a 56.99.
Ooh, the plot thickens. Pavon, I don't know if he was necessarily responding to Elefante, but definitely responding to the pressure from Mardan behind.
Yeah, but he has gapped Mardan quite a bit right now. So that's, I don't know if Mardan he's staying consistent. Just the top 2 guys are just coming in. The carts are coming in and just running faster laps.
Yeah. All right, here they go down the back straightaway.
And you got Delbon back there running equivalent lap times to Mardan, which I can guarantee you that Delbon was sitting there watching Mardan and Pavon go and like, I want them to start racing. I got to get up. These guys are so equal to each other that if nothing happens to slow them down, you're going to stay equal distance from each other for the remainder of this race.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we're seeing a little bit of right now, really equidistant throughout the entire field right now. The closest battle we've got is all the way back down for 7th, between Christian Vormeer and Lucas Bernabu. And that is just about it.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought that Mardan was going to have something for Pavon there, but not sure what happened with Mardan there. But that gap, it continues to grow between 2 and 3, and it looks like 3 and 4 is closing down a little bit there. So this is going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Delbon was 0.3 faster that last lap over Mardan. And that gap is starting to shrink, and see right there.
Well, that's Vormeer and Bernabu
yeah.
right now, or Bernabu, as they try to be able to close in. Bernabu in that blue cart right there, trying to close on in on Vormeer.
Yeah, our next closest race is going to be for that final podium spot between Delbon and Mardan.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes here for the moment. Just kind of keep our eyes peeled on this, see what it's able to happen. As there comes a little bit of a look for Lucas to the inside, fades inside, goes out. Tries to carry that momentum. Nice little bit of slight defensive line there for Christian Vormeer, just covering that off.
Yeah, it's a great little move there. I mean, Christian is an experienced racer on all levels, international nights. I mean, just runs a bunch of different series. And like I said, I haven't seen his name around the last couple of years, so I'm not 100% sure if he's working an out-of-retirement move right now or just decided to finally get into a go-kart for once.
Well, Lucas there took a look down to the inside of turn 10, not able to make it play. Vormeer going to be able to hold on to it for the moment. They come through 11 and 12 into 13. Sometimes a sneaky opportunity to make the corner. And I think here, if you are Lucas Bernabu, you're definitely one to get a move on because Caligaro is not too far up the road, and you may be able to sneak a top 6 out of this.
Yeah, and I'm looking right there. Falcone is now in 5th. big gap between him and your fourth place of Del Bon, but Del Bon is closed down to 8 tenths to Mardan sitting there in third. So, and he's running 4 tenths faster. So I'm going to say the next couple laps, my guess is Del Bon is going to be on the back bumper of Mardan.
Yeah, ooh, big tire wobble there for Vormir. Took a big chunk of that curb. We're going to check back in on that battle with Mardan and Pavon. Or excuse me, that was Del Bon right there.
Yeah, Mardan and Del Bon is the next closest.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, that is the closest battle on the track right now. And Del Bon is significantly faster than what Mardan is. That time 2.5 tenths faster. I'm thinking Mardan just went out with a little too high air pressures, trying to set up for that early run, trying to get the lead and then just play defense from there.
And that's clearly not working out for him. He's falling back through the field, under pressure here from Del Bon. Well, about to be under pressure from Del Bon. I don't want to call it pressure quite yet, but yeah, it just looks like that cart is fading as time goes along.
Yeah, it really is. And then I'm sitting here looking at Elefante just laying down blistering lap after blistering lap. Never did go purple, but just within a couple tenths of each other every single lap. Faster than everybody else on the field. So.
I mean, it's just impressive. It's just impressive to be able to do that. And it's the old adage from Chip Ganassi, I can teach a consistent driver to go fast. I can't teach a fast driver to be consistent.
Yeah, you can't. You're right. I mean, there goes Elefante right there as we speak.
As they work their way down, we continue watching that battle.
Physically see the gap closing down right there. So now we're down to within 4 tenths. So, and Mardan knows because he responded, but still isn't as fast as Del Bon sitting back there in fourth. I'm sure Del Bon would take a podium spot.
Oh, I'm sure he would. He would absolutely love to be able to get that. Just under 3 minutes left to go. Lap times here at about 57 flat, about what we're laying down for your leader. So that should give you an idea of about where we're going to stand in terms of lap time.
Yeah, and we're sitting here, and ironically, this VLR Masters is sponsored by Rocket Racing. Mm-hmm. Paul Elefante owns Rocket Racing.
Yep.
Nothing better than backing up your own product, right?
Exactly. And Elefante just set the fastest lap of the race, the first driver to tickle down into the 56s.
Yeah, that's it. Man, it is so weird watching Del Bon just close up on Mardan and then watching the driver know that someone's coming and then respond. But also Del Bon, a couple tenths slower the last couple of laps. Right there, just trying to get that thing going.
Willing that cart forward.
Yeah, definitely closed down through 9 into 10 right there. Now that's within a couple tenths of each other.
Yeah, taking that hop there that we see quite often. Again, just a way to try to get a little bit more momentum in the cart if you happen to lose it coming off of a corner. There it is again.
Well, what it's doing is it's helping the motor spin up RPMs a little faster. You're taking that weight off that rear of that cart, helping the motor turn up those RPMs to get it back up to maximum speed as possible. Definitely closed it down there.
Del Bon's arrived. Del Bon's here.
Yeah, but Mardan is such an experienced racer. He's going to make that cart 12 feet wide.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be an interesting battle to see how this plays out.
And we're coming down to 4 laps left is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And
I think we'll be 3 at the line.
Who are they coming up on right there? Is that Pavon?
Pavon must have made a mistake. That's the 754. That's Mark Pavon.
This could probably... I don't know if there's enough time, but I'm kind of shocked on that. Like, Pavon just slowly got reeled in by Mardan again, but we've been so focused here on Del Bon catching up on the back of Mardan that kind of didn't realize what was going on for that second spot.
Now there's a little bit of a slide.
Mardan was just slightly faster than Del Bon on that last lap by a tenth.
All right, here they come out at turn 6, down the run in turn 7. And this is not really an area where you can get that overtake done. We've seen it happen into 9 there. Hopping the cart, trying to get those RPMs up.
Getting a great run through 9, but it just seems like Mardan is just quicker through the middle of the track.
Well, and again, this is the same kind of problem we've seen a few times from drivers. They're able to get close. They're able to get to the bumper. Elefante setting the fastest lap of the race again, but just not able to be fast where they need it. Of course, I say that. Delbon now fully onto the rear bumper of Mardan. It's game on.
Yeah, and Delbon went his fastest lap, the last lap of the race, last lap as well. So outside, inside, not going to happen. You know, there's, 2 laps left. Yeah, I was thinking maybe he'd be smart and start pushing Mardan to try to catch up to Pavan, but Pavan's not too far out in front of them.
With 2 laps to go,
Not
I think
enough
you're
time.
fighting for a podium
You
here.
are.
You don't think about the big picture. You think about what's in front of you. And what's in front of you there is Mardan
Being
taking a
defensive.
defensive line down into 10. Here comes Delbon to the outside, looks for the crossover. Can he get it done? He's side by side. And he has got the move done. Brilliant stuff there from Alexander Delbon, moving him up into podium position.
Yeah, he did a great job of setting that up.
Yeah, he
coming off
really
of
did.
9 into 10.
Delbon into 3rd as the white flag flies here at the Orlando Kart Center for your ROK VLR Masters, presented by Rocket Racing Company. The owner of that company, Paul Elefante, continues to lead this race in pretty dominant fashion, 5.5 seconds up at the front of the field.
Yeah, not surprised by Paul there. Just had some unfortunate heat races.
Yeah.
But, worked his way through, won the pre-final, started on pole, and basically went wire to wire.
And it looks like that's what he's going to be able to do here. 19 laps in the book, coming around to lap 20. Elefante ready to cross the start-finish line. Here he comes. Big fist into the air. Paul Elefante will take victory from the Orlando Kart Center. Mark Pavan holds out, and Delbon with a double fist pump. That's got to feel good for the 729.
Yeah, the best run of the day right there so far is by Alexander Delbon in that 729. Good job for him, working his way up, methodically just chipping away at Mardan, and then running a really smart, strategic pass as someone was trying to be very defensive. So good for him. Good race. Hopefully that leads up to the remainder of our VLR classes that we have about ready to happen, and 2 of our largest classes.
Yeah, 2 of
coming
our
up.
largest classes. Next up is going to be VLR Junior, presented by RPG. Very excited to see that. One of our biggest, if not our biggest class out there. And this always produces some pretty spectacular racing. I think we'll stay with you here through the break. We are race ready, so we are rolling right along, and we don't have any cart pickups to make, so not going to jump you away to commercial here. But as we look at this, and well, it's last time's winner, Alexander Vanchev, starting off in pole position. Cole Medeiros, Edward Kennedy, Nico Katowski, and Nathan Dupuis. Now, a lot of these names are names that we saw before in the GP Juniors.
Yeah, it sure is. And, Katowski had that DNF in the last final for the GP Junior. So great run for him in 4th, all the way up 7 spots. So that's definitely the hard. Well, no, actually Dupuis had it up 12, so that was the hard charger right there. So good run for those 2. We'll see where we're at. Katowski starting on the outside. You got the 2 Canadians sitting there 2nd and 3rd, and Vanchev starting off pole. So this is going to be interesting to see. We do have a pickup out there. I didn't see a cart, but
all right, we're going to actually jump over. We've got a little interview to play for you while we do have a pickup. So we're going to go do that, and we'll be back with you with VLR Junior, presented by RPG.
All right, hey, back. Jason Ewers here with ROK Cup USA. I have Ruben with Velocity Racing Sodi Kart USA. Ruben, we're trying to go around and kind of highlight some of our class sponsors, and they are our VLR Junior sponsor. And again, we appreciate you guys. This all cannot happen without our sponsors, so we appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into karting, your choice of chassis for your team, and basically how someone can get involved with you guys.
I first got out into karting when I was 10 years old. So I lived 10 years in Europe racing. I was world champion in go-kart in '98. And I got the opportunity to come to America to work in go-kart a couple years ago, and have the opportunity to work with the Saudi, and we build up now the velocity, and we are a fresh team. We have just 4 months, and we're trying to build up our mark, our brand, and our focus is in the driving. The engine is important, chassis is important, but I think the most is the driving. So that's why we focus that.
Fantastic. So what do you guys do as your coaches? Like, what are some of the fundamental things you guys focus on when you have your drivers here and the coaches have to like literally coach them?
Yeah.
So if someone is watching this right now and they're like a local grassroots racer, but want to experience that next level of running events like this, how do they do that? How do they get a hold of you guys?
You can reach us in the Instagram, Velocity Racing USA, and do an inbox message. Then you can reach out and mark a test, schedule a test with us, and try to do the race with us. And we try to get the best opportunity for your drivers.
So if someone comes in and does, let's say, an arrive and drive with you guys, what are they getting for that?
They get the karting, the engine, the tires, and the coaching, all of that.
That's fantastic. You heard us right here, velocityracing.com on Instagram. Check test. You can come see Ruben in your home tracks right here. You get to drive this wonderful track out here. So, hey, Ruben, we appreciate it. Appreciate the sponsors, and good luck this weekend.
Welcome back to the ROK Cup Florida Winter Tour, round 2 from the Orlando Kart Center. My name is DJ Clark. Jason Ewers is away from the mic here for a second, but we are ready for the ROK VLR Junior, presented by RPG, and it is going to be Alexander Vanchev leading the way. Medeiros, Kennedy, Katowski, Dupuis, your top 5 to start things off. Vanchev, really the driver that has had this series kind of on lock, understanding exactly how to make things work and how to make it play. So we'll be interested to see if he'll be able to hold that out. Medeiros has looked particularly quick as well. Don't sleep on Nathan Dupuis. Podium sitter last time out, up 8 positions in that race in round 1. He'll start off 5th on that preferred inside line coming into turn 1, so it may be a good position there for Nathan. We're going to have to see exactly how he's able to fare as we bring everything around right now. This is our penultimate race here for the weekend. Makes me a little bit sad. It's been a good time to be down here in Orlando. But hopefully the racing will continue to be absolutely excellent as we have seen it multiple times. Field looks relatively formed up. As everybody makes their way through 11, 12, and 13 on the back of the circuit. All right, here they go. Alexander Vanchev to your left, Cole Medeiros to your right. Getting ready to go into the acceleration zone. Vanchev gets on the loud pedal. We are racing for the VLR Junior category. Medeiros immediately trying to make a play for around the outside. A little bit of bumping and banging through the rest of the field. They're going to get through cleanly. Vanchev, Medeiros, Katowski looks like your top 3 here at this point. Oh, excuse me, Kennedy's been able to move up into 3rd place. As there we get through the first couple of corners. Couple of karts going off into the grass. That's going to lose them a bucket load of time, but they're going to be able to come back on. Vanchev trying to press his advantage on early as Medeiros does run P2, then Kennedy. When they come down through turn 9, great camera angle there from our crew. And here they go down into turn number 10. Slicing and dicing, Vanchev up in front. Kennedy trying to put pressure onto the back of Medeiros for that 2nd place position as they keep moving along. There it is. We'll get that reset on the timing and scoring. A little bit of a defensive line there for Medeiros. Katowski, Dupuis stayed in 5th. Salamau 6th. Here comes the pressure from Kennedy on the back of Medeiros. Decides to not go for the move farther back. I think that was Dupuis and Salamau going side by side into the corner. Got to watch out here for Nico Katowski in that 4th position. I believe that's a VLR chassis that he's riding. Trying to move his way up a little bit. Down into turn 9. A little bit of a rough run there for Kennedy. This could open up the door for Katowski. Medeiros has gotten a little bit of breathing room. All neat and tidy for that top 5 or 6. Now a little bit of a battle for 3rd. Kennedy back on the rear bumper here of Cole Medeiros. Kennedy likes to take that, or Medeiros rather, likes to take that little bit more of a defensive line. Salamau's been able to move up into 5th, displacing Nathan Dupuis as he goes. Medeiros driving a little bit more defensively than I would have thought. I'm seeing him move offline a little bit more, maybe trying to get into the head here of Edward Kennedy. He's not really a threat to Vanchev. He just keeps going ahead. As my booth mate has joined me back in, we are underway and under 15 minutes left to go in this race.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Let's see what we have going on here. Vanchev, no surprise there. Alex has been pretty dominant on every aspect and every kart he's been racing on. So he started to pull the job. Medeiros, Kennedy, Katowski kind of just kept in line, haven't they? They haven't really done
not
a lot of jostling around.
That much. It was relatively orderly, and there again, we see that slightly defensive line. You know, the way they come down that front straightaway a little bit and the way he's doing it, it almost reminds me of the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, kind of arcing that line a little bit to defend coming down that front straightaway.
Yeah, hopefully they learn some from everybody else. No reason to defend yet. You know, he's not under pressure, although, as I say that, Medeiros closed up quite a bit.
Oh, there it is, down to the inside of Vanchev. 1 position, and Kennedy goes for 2. It's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway.
Oh, and Katowski's going to end up getting a good run off of this.
Oh, there we go. Nope, Katowski gets a little bit scuppered there. He's got to hold back in line a little bit. I believe it's Kennedy, Medeiros, and Vanchev has been shuffled down to 3rd. No, yes, excuse me. Vanchev has been shuffled down to 3rd. So your new leader is Edward Kennedy, then Cole Medeiros. A little bit of move there as Salamau tries to send it on Katowski.
Yeah, that's a great camera angle we had at 9 down there with our portable camera we had. I told him to go down there and plant himself for the next couple races because that is going to be where a lot of activity is going to be happening.
8:06 of Vanchev able to get the move there on Cole Medeiros going into turn 6. Medeiros now going to have to be back in line a little bit. Nobody poking their nose through turn 9 this time around.
Let's see what Kennedy can do. But as you can see, as they all battled real quick,
everything is compressed back in. Really all the way back down to 7th, I think, with Valentino Centillion.
Absolutely. And then you got Nathan Dupuis that there. We talked about him a lot. So we'll see what if he can work his way back up as he just dropped the spot. The announcer's curse, like you like to say.
Commentator's curse coming back to bite. Big look down to the inside for Vanchev. On Kennedy, he's got it. 2 for 1 goes Medeiros. He's going to have to go the long way around turn 6. That's not going to work out. And now Salamau says, I want a piece of it. All right, so it is Vanchev, Kennedy, Medeiros, Salamau, Katowski, your top 5. They've got a little bit of a breakaway over Drew Jensen. Actually, no, I believe that's Centillion. Jensen's been dropped down. Move to the inside there for Salamau. Medeiros has been dropped down into 4th.
That's allowing the top 2 to kind of make a little bit of room for themselves. Be smart, like we talked about, but that's easier said than done. We've seen these kids just dive bomb each other in the 5 all week long. So
keep your eye here on Edward Kennedy. On Vanchev, down to the inside goes Kennedy. Vanchev ready for it, looks for the crossover. Kennedy plants that cart at the apex, stops him from moving ahead. Good move for Kennedy. He's up to the point.
He's just like, stop passing me. I'll just be behind you. Let's just go. I mean, that's fantastic work right there from Kennedy. He's like, I don't want anything to do with these guys behind us.
All right. Medeiros has been able to get back by Salamau.
And you've got teammates right there at 1, 2, and 3 on those RPGs.
Nice little bit of sponsorship there, as they are our sponsor of this series, so love to see them up at the front.
They dropped Katowski. What happened to Nico?
Well, he's been passed by Marco Romero. I think there was a mistake there from Katowski. Big move down to the inside. Vanchev goes for the pass into 5.
So much for that gesturing like. Oh, well. Hey, it makes it for great racing.
Yeah,
so
it makes our job easy. I'm not complaining about it in the slightest.
Just clicked under 10 minutes to go, plus those 2. So we're looking at just shy of 12 minutes left on the track. I have a feeling this is going to make itself out to be a very good final couple laps.
I think it will as well. Medeiros is closing in on the back of this teammate battle up here with Kennedy and Vanchev.
Yeah, and you got the Orsolon of Salamalo sitting back there in 4th, and then pretty much a big gap between the 854 and the 809 of Marco Romero. Not even in the camera view.
No. Fastest lap of the race goes to Cole Medeiros on the last time of asking. So he is now officially onto this battle. He takes a big wide look to the outside, but everybody stays in line for once going through turn 5.
Speak too soon there.
Yep, there it is. Medeiros.
Great
down to
move
the
by
inside.
Medeiros. You know, Kennedy just left that door wide open, and Medeiros was able just to get that cart in under and let it stick without losing the momentum. The nice thing they get out of that is they know if they put it in front, they're going to get that nice little push from the cart they just passed.
Exactly.
So you don't lose as much momentum as you think you're going to.
He gets that done. Now it's going to give a little bit of an opportunity here for Vanchev to start pulling ahead, but I don't think Medeiros is going to let him slip off into the distance. The only question of that is going to be is if Kennedy tries to fight back on Medeiros.
Yeah, that is a great question. We'll see here soon. I mean, we know Kennedy loves to make that pass going into 5. Let's see if Medeiros is going to be able to defend that or if he's just going to run the normal racing line. Nope, they both are smart right there, and that helped them close up. We got a cart, an 833. I don't have it.
Not sure who that is, but that's a cart stopped there.
In a weird spot, too. Was he pointing the wrong direction
Yeah,
as well?
I think so. May have just gotten spun.
All right. Looks like
Medeiros has been able to catch back into the back of Vanchev. Looks to the inside, coming into turn 10. Later on the binders is Medeiros. Plants the car at the apex. Here comes Kennedy looking to fight back on his teammate. Not able to get that done, but that has allowed for Kennedy to catch in. Meanwhile, Theo Salamau just holding in behind.
Closed up a lot right there. Salamau is going to be in this fight before you know it.
And Medeiros to the point. He has been able to hold on to that as they all kind of scattered coming across start-finish. Big defensive move from Medeiros. A little bit of how you doing there from Alexander Vanchev. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw a blanket over him. Wide run for Salamau.
I like what he's doing. They're all 3 fighting for that inside. I'm going to go a different line. I can't pass you if we're on the same line.
Exactly. It's a good heads-up play there from Theo.
And he's going to get a heck of a run here.
There it is. Crossover down to the inside of Edward Kennedy. And now here comes Vanchev on Medeiros. Vanchev slots back into line. Kennedy tries to go around the outside. Whoa, sweet move there from Theo Salamau.
Can someone engineers call these kids and tell them that we still have about 8 laps left?
No, let it keep going. Let it keep fighting. I'm loving this.
I know, and you know who else is loving it? The group behind him.
Yeah,
and you can see now
Romero.
Katowski. This is going to be a nice little 8 to 10 cart little battle here as these guys continue to battle. So just to let you guys know, if you're not paying attention here, there is about a 3-second difference in lap times between them being in single file and running the normal racing line, and then from them sitting here and battling like they are. And all that's doing is allowing that Centillion and Katowski and Romero to catch back up, as you visually can see now on the screen.
Medeiros down to the inside, and there with the sneaky move is Edward Kennedy and Alexander Vanchev. Oh, a little bit of how you doing.
Kennedy on the outside.
Oh, there they go. Medeiros still holds on to the lead. Salamau's been dumped down to 4th place. That's going to be, I believe, the 806 of Vanchev in second, then Kennedy. Salamau now having a look behind at Katowski, who was able to get by Santillan. All right, here they come. Medeiros loves that defensive line coming down into turn 5.
I think Medeiros likes the lead, not the follow. So very defensive lines. And again, they're running 2 seconds slower than they do when they are all lined up. So that other question is, you've got even back there with Orbezo and Dupuis and Gutierrez are sitting back there at 8th, 9th, and 10th. If they're running 2 seconds slower than the group line, it's going to be a matter of time if those guys catch them.
Yeah, side by side with the teammates there of Vanchev and Kennedy, and that's going to be, it looks like Vanchev, they got shuffled down.
Yeah. Great racing, folks.
Excuse me, that was Kennedy that got shuffled down. Yeah. Vanchev holding on to second position.
Yeah, Kennedy's got that bright orange helmet.
Yeah.
But it looks like that top trio just gets through 1 and 2 better than the rest of the group.
Yeah.
But they sit there and fight each other, and allows that group to kind of continue. We've got an incident up here. I see a yellow flying.
Looks like somebody's just off on the entrance there at turn 7. Everything's okay.
Get back to our lead trio as we're going into 9 down to 10. And I tell you what, I really like that line that Salamau is taking through 9. Not being challenged by anybody, so he's allowed to go really wide and get a great run down that straightaway, and he got the takeover right there.
Got the crossover on Alexander Vanchev, but he's not satisfied with that. He wants the lead. He's fighting Medeiros into 11 and 12. Medeiros pops a tire up onto the curb. Salamau willing that cart forward as much as possible. Vanchev in 3rd now. Kennedy shuffled down to 5th as Katowski's been able to get by him. Let's watch here. Salamau likes that outside to inside line, and if Medeiros goes defensive, no, he tries to do it, shuts the door.
Yeah, he can't do it because he's got Vanchev just sitting right there, and Katowski says, I want to play.
Yep, he's in this battle as well.
Oh, and then the 869, of course. Kennedy's been up front. Now he's working his way back as these two can definitely fight for the lead.
Nobody taking a move through turn 9.
Good run by Kennedy right there in that 5th place cart.
Yeah, watch Kennedy here. He may be able to have a little bit of a... No, it's Katowski.
Move by I think he just poked out to kind of protect himself right there, knowing Kennedy was behind him.
All right, Salamau gets a little bit of a better run there through turn 13. Question's going to be is if he's going to be able to get the run here into 1. Goes on the outside, looks to the inside. Oh, nice defense there from Cole Medeiros. Knew what he was trying to do.
Not a lot of room there to make that move. Hats off to side. But it might be something that Salamau was just trying to play games with him and see if it's something that maybe he can use a little bit later on in this race.
Yeah. Could be it. Salamau. Anybody going to try something into T9 here? Salamau's got a good run, but has to check his momentum.
Yeah, he got such a good run on Medeiros, he had to let back, but then he's sitting there with Vanchev on the outside.
Salamau to the point.
No,
big crossover.
Vanchev, did you not see that coming?
I saw the inside line, and as I was saying it, I saw Vanchev making the move. Here
comes
Katowski!
Nice. What a great setup by Vanchev. Just outside, set that car early, got on the gas before everybody else, and passed 2 for the lead.
Look at this. Medeiros all the way down to 4th. He's now fighting with Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Medeiros. I think Medeiros is going to be right back up with those. And then Katowski sitting there for 2nd. Little push from Salamau right there. Now, this is going to be, Vanchev's got a little bit of distance here. I don't know what Salamau's upset for right there, but see what goes on.
Defensive line from Katowski coming in through turn 9. He did not want anybody to scupper him. Salamau pulls off to the inside.
Oh, no.
Salamau's got it. Medeiros has got it. Katowski loses 2 spots.
Yep. Oh, big block by Medeiros right there, but
Medeiros to the inside of 13 on Salamau. Gets it done. That sets up Katowski for a drag race. Katowski's got to give up the ghost.
Yeah, he was going to be taken in the inside on that one. It's a smart move by Katowski just to kind of come back in line.
3 laps to go at the line.
This is going to be probably the most exciting 3 laps that we've had.
Salamao defensive, Medeiros on the traditional line, no passes there.
Vanchev is just so happy about this right now.
Vanchev able to check out a little bit up at the front.
Yeah, he's not battling, running clean laps. Like he was half a second faster last lap.
Yeah, but Medeiros has got a little bit of breathing room here.
Yeah,
Is he going to be able to close that door now?
Yeah, I don't think he has that kind of pace. More than Vanchev, if he has any. I mean, I think this is going to be a battle for the 3rd podium spot.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Right now, that position is held by Teo Salamao.
Yeah, and Katalski wants to fight for that. They all kind of spread themselves out a little bit, but all it takes is just one little bobble.
Romero under pressure here from Kennedy. That's the battle for P6.
Yeah, and we talked about Gutierrez and Romero sitting back a little bit. Now they're right there. And who knows what could happen. I mean, that 3rd place spot, those guys can easily take each other out. But it's kind of spread out. Salamao, yeah, I don't think. Maybe we jinxed it. Maybe all the activity happened in the middle of the race right there. But
Katowski under pressure here from Gutierrez coming down the back straightaway. Gutierrez going to poke to the inside, so is Kennedy. Kennedy gets the move done there on Romero.
Yeah, I'm shocked Edward got sent back that far.
Yeah, that's a little surprising to me. White flag in the air. White flag. 1 lap to go for Alexander Vanchev. That gap down under a second.
And that's Katowski and Gutierrez right there.
Yeah, Gutierrez leading in that bright Dayglow helmet. Katowski down to
trying
the
to dive
inside.
Can he hold it?
Yes, he can. Nicely done for Katowski. Tries to pay back the favorite as Gutierrez, but there is no room at the end.
No, and that was for 4th place. But I can guarantee you, let's watch what's going to go into 9 here. My guess
Katowski
is no.
takes the defensive line. He's done that a couple of times, but it compromises him on exit.
Yeah, we'll see if that's enough to give Gutierrez a run into 10. But very defensive line by Katowski right there. But, well, it looked like Medeiros was able to close down Vanchev a little bit.
I think one more lap, Medeiros could have done this, but it's going to be a little bit too little too late. Alexander Vanchev, for the 2nd time in a month, will take victory in the VLR Junior category.
Yeah, what a great mid-segment race.
Oh, fantastic. And look at that, coming across the line with Katowski, Varela, Romero, and Kennedy. I mean, separated by nothing.
So Gutierrez did end up getting around Katowski at the line. Wow, good run. Good clean racing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's hope that the seniors learned a little something.
We can always hope.
So, but, you know, we've got some new camera angles down there going into 9 that's definitely very beneficial to our viewers to be able to see that passing.
Good to be able to see that there. The way that shakes out really gives us a good angle of what's going on there.
Yeah. Well, we are at our final race of the event coming up.
We are. We'll take a quick look down here on pit lane, down in the scales area as they all get out of their carts. Everybody just kind of decompressing a little bit.
Yeah, I don't see any fist to flailing.
No.
That's good news. I mean, I didn't see anything that would have justified any angry drivers, but someone's happy.
Yeah.
That was Gutierrez right there. But you know what? You got these carts still got to pass post-race tech.
They do, and we did have some that failed tech last time around, so that can change the order a little bit.
Yeah, so, you know, even if you're in 4th or 5th, you know, you got to still think and will that you might have an ability to still get a podium spot.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we will be back shortly with you for the final race of Round 2, VLR Senior, presented by Nash Motorsports.
27 years ago, Bill Wright began the Florida Winter Tour to break up the slow winter months for karters. And as the word spread, the tour grew. Importers, teams, manufacturers, and drivers alike all came to Florida to prepare for the upcoming season. One weekend became 2, and the fun became serious fun. Since then, the karting season has started with the Florida Winter Tour, where teams compete to establish dominance for the coming summer. drivers from all over the world look to make their name and leave their mark on the national scene, much like Pato O'Ward, Enzo Fittipaldi, and others have done in Florida Winter Tours of the past. The original Florida Winter Tour, the series that made karting a year-round sport in North America and where tomorrow's superstar drivers are discovered. 27 years later, you can still go karting and have some serious fun. Are you ready to join the action?
Into the acceleration zone, green flag flies. We are racing. Big slide farther back in the pack. Couple of micros going a little bit sideways, but they're going to hold it together. Pressure from Luca Besseril. Besseril, look outside for speed. Now down into turn 4. Got it. This position going to go to the inside of turn 1. Got it. The lead of it. Whoa, cross back, crossover.
I don't think battling each other is the way to go right here.
Oh, almost a little bit of a swiggle there for Trusho in that purple car. Here comes Del Bon to the line. Look at him, he's so excited. Welcome back to the Orlando Kart Center for round 2 of the ROK Cup Florida Winter Tour. We are getting ready for VLR Senior class presented by Nash Motorsports. Very excited for this. You just saw an absolutely fantastic VLR Junior race with action all the way up and down through the field, and indeed, really and truly, some of the best stuff you're going to see out there today. Really, really good all the way around. Very excited to be able to bring you this final race around 2. It's a sad day that we have to say goodbye to it, but we'll be back in a month or so from Houston. So make sure to stick around to us for that. Well, with this one, it's the older folks headed out onto the track, but hopefully that just means a little bit more age and experience, means better racing, as there we see everybody headed out right now.
Well, older being 15.
Still
it's on up. I mean, I don't know what the average age is of our senior class, but I'm guessing it's probably 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't see any kids that are 20, 25 up there, so... I haven't seen anybody with any kids in the stands yet that's running senior or drinking a beer after the race.
That's a good point.
I'm assuming under 21.
Yep, there we go. So, all right, it is going to be Caden McQueen that leads us to the field. Diego Ramos will be second. That was the battle that we really followed all of yesterday, the two of them. But my dark horse for this one, starting back in about 14th, 15th position, it was the driver that looked particularly quick early on, just lost a lot of speed. That's Chase Gasoli.
Yeah, I don't know what actually happened there. I don't know if it was a mechanical failure or what it was yesterday, but definitely was off track there. So that's someone to watch coming up through the field. Where is Gasoli starting?
14th, I believe.
Okay, 14th, yeah, that's not too far off. So, if we're going dark horses here, I'm going with that 950 of Sebastian Garzon.
Garzon's particularly quick, yeah. The Colombian definitely has some speed underneath him and can be able to pull out some pretty impressive results here if given the opportunity.
Yeah, as we look at the lap times yesterday, Caden was fast, but, Ramos, I mean, that was such a good poised battle between those two yesterday. And this is the one that we had Gavin Bailiff up here helping us call the race and kind of giving us a really good insight of what races are thinking and how everything's working. And, he said that you have two veterans out there fighting each other. So I expect that to be the same. Will be interesting to see if those two veterans are going to sit there and play defensive racing or they're going to just kind of team up and say, hey, let's check out and fight this thing with the last couple laps to go.
This
so
one might get way.
I don't.
Nope, we're going to go.
Wow, all right.
All right, we're going to keep on going. Love to see that. Green flag in the air. Caden McQueen will lead around the 9:13 of Ramos. Will hold on to second. Takes a little bit of a look to the inside. Gaggle behind, 3 wide, coming into turn 5.
Yeah, I don't know who. We got some karts off track. That's going to be interesting to see. Looks like they kicked a lot of dirt up on that track, so we'll see what kind of grip level is going to be there on exit when our leaders go by that turn 5.
There we see him coming down into turn 9 at the moment. McQueen continues to lead over Ramos. I think that's Charlie Fonseca there in 3rd place. We'll have to get a double check when they cross over the stripe to update the timing and scoring. Here they come on through the corner.
Oh,
pushed out big.
Yeah, looking over like, come on. Yeah, that was
It looked like an
brute force.
Orsalon cart there. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
sure
definitely
who it was
Orsalon.
exactly.
So we have the who's in 3rd? Is that Fonseca?
No, it's in Grata.
Fonseca sitting in 4th.
Yep. All right, so they'll get we'll get that timing and scoring up here as we follow this lead battle. Credit here to Ingrata. We really didn't see him be able to hold on yesterday, but definitely closing on in and keeping things together. As the 842 here, excuse me, the 942 of Caden McQueen definitely starting to try to pull away here a little bit, getting his way ahead, but Ramos keeping the pressure up behind him.
Yeah, I think we're going to see kind of a repeat of what we did yesterday here, but these two experienced veterans are probably going to sit there and be a little bit smarter than what we saw with the juniors, and understand that if we're fighting, people are coming up and gaining on us.
Yeah, I expect to see a little bit more of discretion as the better part of Valor here in this round in particular, and that's a little bit of what we're seeing. I think Ramos knows that he's got a little bit of speed to be able to take. Does look like there could be a good battle coming in behind for 4th. Charlie Fonseca, Mauricio Hernandez as well.
Yeah,
and there they are on your screen.
Yeah, there's Garzon sitting back there as well.
Inside goes Hernandez, gets the move on Fonseca, and is going to hold it coming through 6.
Yeah, and then we got DeLeo, Garzon, Venegas, Gasoli already up to 9th.
All right, so clearly recovering from that issue yesterday. Yeah, we assumed that was some sort of mechanical issue that Chase had.
Yeah, that was interesting. I can't see from our skybox over here certain portions of the track, so that was a good call by Gavin that noticed that Gasoli was off.
All right, there's that battle.
Everyone's settled in here. Looks like they're just trying to lay down some good lap times and do what they can to try to not let McQueen and Ramos just kind of start checking out.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest case here. They're going to go ahead. Hernandez is into 4th. That's the battle that we watch right now. Ramos keeping that gap at about 0.3 of a second. Under 14 minutes left to go.
Garzon up to 8th. Gasly's still hanging at 10th. Do we have anybody from the back? That's not really. Everyone's kind of stayed in check. Nick Gabriel was someone that we talked about quite a bit. I think he had not a great pre-final. Not sure exactly where he ended up. Take a look at that. 13th. So I was he was down because he started 6th in the pre-final. So I don't know if he got shuffled back or what happened, but Nick's sitting back there around 15th.
Well, we check back in on this battle for the lead, and credit here to Caden McQueen. That gap has expanded a little bit. It's actually contracted a little bit. It's down 100th of a second, but when I looked up at it, it had expanded. So
well, it depends where the timing is going, but definitely is
it's
contracted a little bit there, like you said. So let's see what Ramos is doing here. He's just running some good lap times. You got Hernandez, who went purple with the 56.22. Couple tenths faster than the rest of the field, but I'm not sure if he's got any clean track to be able to take advantage of that pace that he has right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure as well. He's got to close in on the back here of Aiden Ingrata, and that may be a battle that we see play out in a few moments' time. Oh, down to the inside goes Ramos with a mistake from McQueen, and Ramos takes advantage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there with McQueen. I mean, it looked like Ramos was happy just to kind of tuck in behind, but again, you take advantage of when mistakes are given.
It almost looked like, to draw a sports car analogy, like he missed a gear on the shift. It just looked like that cart didn't get the jump off the line.
That's interesting because we don't have any gears
exactly.
on these carts. So. maybe it loaded up on him coming out, and he just didn't have a clear, the motor just had a little too much fuel in the bottom end and just wasn't as pipey.
Maybe. Well, he's got a little bit of work to do. I mean, it's a 0.4 of a second gap. We know Caden can close it back down.
Yeah, I just don't know what Ramos has, if he's going to keep those reins pulled back a little bit, or if he's just going to let that horse run.
Yeah. We're going to go back to the battle for 5th here. This is Charlie Fonseca and Jordan DeLeo. There you see it on your screen. Come through 11 and 12 right now. Fonseca trying to hold off DeLeo in that white cart. Fonseca in the pink and blue. Hernandez sets another fastest lap of the race, so he's clearly got speed underneath that 9:17. And there's the move to the inside on Aiden Ingrata. Move Mauricio Hernandez up into podium contention.
Yeah, that turn 5 is just a brutal corner. It's like, it's slow enough to where you can throw it in on somebody, but as a driver, it's like, I don't want to sit and constantly defend the corner.
Right, and we saw a lot, particularly from some of the other drivers in the last heat, really defending that inside line. And it worked out sometime, but it just cost you lap time.
It does, and that allows the group behind you to catch up. And it's, but I mean, these guys know what they do. They race every weekend. I mean, if that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen. But at the end of the day, who cares about lap times?
All right, here they go. That's Fonseca, or DeLeo has been able to get on by. Contact there with Chase Gasoli, who's working his way forward.
What a great race.
Excuse me, that's Garzon. That's Garzon.
Yeah, okay.
Garzon.
But Gasoli's right behind him, not too far back, so...
Yeah, that's him right in the back.
Yeah,
of your
with
screen.
them battling each other, it's going to be in no time before Gasoli's going to join this little party.
Yeah, that is Garzon in that Orsilon cart. Fonseca and the Nash.
Oh,
Nash cart down to the inside. Nice move for Fonseca to be able to get that back from Sebastian Garzon.
Yeah, good catch, camera crew down there too. But look at that, your dark horse is coming in.
He's coming on strong, already up to 8th position, started in about 13th or 14th. Under 10 minutes to go here in this final. Hernandez, again, now in clean air. Fastest lap of the race. He is closing on in. That gap up to Caden McQueen is coming down. We're going to have a 3-horse race up for the lead here.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, I'm telling you what, Hernandez wasn't that fast yesterday.
No.
And then today, I mean...
They must have just made a change. I wonder, though, if they're running a little bit higher tire pressures and they could fade here a little bit later on.
Could be. I mean, we still have just under 9 minutes left in this race, but keep setting purple after purple. But, it's interesting. Brand new tires obviously coming in for the final, running about a half a second faster than they were yesterday in the pre-final.
Yeah, this is your leader, by the way, Diego Ramos. Up in the front there in that Morel Art chassis. Leads the way, halfway mark given by the flagman as they go through 1 and 2. Gap has stabilized here for Hernandez to Caden McQueen.
Yeah, they are all running similar lap times. The top 3 are the only ones that are in that sub-56 category, which is scary for the rest of the field.
Yeah. I mean, that is absolutely just turn off the lights category. There, as we take a look on your screen, that's Garzon, Tiano Rossi, and Frederick Manning.
Yeah, I don't know. Gasoli got in front of Garzon. I don't know what happened there because Garzon was a couple carts ahead of Gasoli.
And move down to the inside there. That's Manning on Rosso.
Yeah, that's the 979, yeah.
Gets it through.
The 950 of Garzon is ahead of them a little bit of the 970, but Garzon's got his eyes set on Gasoli right there. But good run for Chase today, like you called it.
Down to the inside goes Jordan DeLeo on Aiden and Grata into turn 5. That the battle for P4. Move DeLeo up into that position.
Yeah, got this.
All right, there he comes down into turn 9. They keep it going. Little bit of a squiggle there on the back for Chase Gassioli, who runs in 6th. He's hoping to close in. I think if Chase can end up with a top 5 out of this, that's a good day. Starting down in 13th, 14th, that's a really, really good run for Chase.
In this stacked field, absolutely. And I don't think he's done yet. Not sure if he can close that second, almost 2-second gap on the 919 of Jordan DeLeo, but it just depends. DeLeo and Agrada are sitting there battling. We've got a battle right here of the 6 carts.
Whoa. That's Garzone, Rosso, Fonseca, and Manning.
Yeah.
I think maybe even throw P11 into that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good battle right here. Down the line a little bit. Who's on the back there in the comp cart?
That's Welcome. I think that's Luke Welcome. He tries to make a play here. Garzone, who looked very promising early on, but has lost a little bit of speed. 6 minutes to go.
He made a great jump at the beginning and then kind of just started dealing himself to the back of the pack a little bit more here, but we'll see what happens. Gassioli definitely is in command up there in 6th. Not really making much room up on Ingrata. Little bit. What did he run last lap? 7/10 faster than Ingrata, which running that much faster than a car in front of you, you're going to be up there pretty quick. Oh, little incident
that
right
was Rosso
there.
And Manning. Rosso tried to go for the move on Garzone, backed out of it, and Manning gets out of the outside wall.
Yeah, unfortunate. Kept it running, though. Good job there. He's going to get back on track, but obviously down quite a few spots.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt him there at that point.
Ramos just went purple.
Yep.
And extending that gap by probably 7/10 by the time he gets around.
Yeah, there he is right there, your leader. Caden McQueen in 3rd. Hernandez about 1.2 seconds behind McQueen, so it's not an unassailable margin.
No, but I'm sitting here watching Ramos and his hands, and it just, look at the input, just very little, not any correcting of the steering wheel, just smooth.
Yeah, smooth as can be Jim Clark hands.
Yeah, I mean, very
like
impressive.
My mentors would say.
Yeah, that chassis, that Burrell R is just hooked up. Good job, PSL, with getting him a great little whip for this weekend.
Yeah, very, very good. We're going to check him coming down into turn 7, into 8 and 9. And again, as you said, just minimal inputs on that cart.
All right, well, I mean, if McQueen doesn't watch out, you got Hernandez that's getting into striking distance. Plenty of time left on this race. In the last lap, not too much faster than McQueen, but
battle here on your screen, Garzone and Luke Welcome. That's Charlie Fonseca not too far behind. Welcome takes a look to the outside at turn 11 into 12. Maybe gives a little bit of a how you doing push there to Garzone, and there comes Fonseca stealing a space.
He's like, it's just, you got it. It's like, I'm not going to cut down on you. Great
communication.
Absolutely. Dude, I always do, like, if I pass someone, I'm always like waving in my hand, slow down, like, let me in, I'm coming in. I'm faster than you. Sometimes there's, some other gestures being done as well. But
there's a few that make it
part of the heat of the moment we have right there. But keeping an eye on this battle with Hernandez and McQueen, getting a little bit closer to each other, but we also have the Gassioli and DeLeo battle that's about to start happening here in a little bit, if I'm not incorrect.
And here we've got to keep our eye on this battle, though, right now, as Fonseca's been able to get by Luke Welcome, now going to put pressure in the back of Sebastian Garzone. This the battle for 7th position. Oh, I think Fonseca's got to run. Garzone checking behind him. Fonseca's going to move to the outside. Can he get something on an over-under into 1? No, we can't. We'll hold it in line, but all this battling has allowed for everybody to catch up to the back here.
Yeah, that's
a train.
Yeah, it is definitely a train.
Yeah, that's Fonseca, Welcome, Reyes, moving back.
Venegas,
Venegas, Gabriel,
Gabriel,
Della Vecchia. This is a big, big gaggle of cars.
Yeah, and I think Garzon is kind of bottling everybody up.
Yeah, he's the cork in the model here.
Yeah.
He really is. Just over 2 minutes left to go in session. There's a little bit of a poke. I think that's Valeria Reyes. Moves down to the inside. Venegas and that Orsolon. Here they go as they try to sort themselves out a little bit. Coming down through turn 1.
Kind of keeping an eye on that McQueen and Hernandez at 3 for that battle up there. Not sure how much Hernandez is eating into that lead by McQueen. Just a little bit, 10th every lap. But I think old clock has something else to say about this one. So.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Garzon continues to lead over Fonseca. Welcome there in behind, trying to be able to catch up right now as they close on in. All right, this is back up farther in the field. This is that battle you've been watching, Jordan DeLeo and Chase Gasoli. Gasoli has been able to get a top 5, so that's a good day for him, but he can get a little bit more.
Yeah, a podium I think is not within grasp unless something happens, but definitely can get in here and get this 4th spot from DeLeo. Significantly faster every lap. But we just have, Hernandez, I feel bad that just started a little bit further back in the field, just laying down some of the fastest laps of everybody.
Yeah, just not able to close it in. We got to keep our eyes here, though. DeLeo, Gasoli should be about 3 laps to go at the line, I believe. Here they come. Across the line right now. Indeed, 3 laps to go for them. A little bit of a look to the inside for Gasoli. Not going to be able to get it to play. He's got to run here. Does he look to the inside of turn 5? Yes, he does. Chase Gasoli sends it and has a big advantage.
What a great run for him. All the way from, 13th?
Yeah, 13th,
to
14th.
4th night right now. So, fantastic run for Gasoli. The question is, what would have happened if he didn't have a DNF yesterday?
Yeah, I think he very well could have been in podium contention here.
Oh, absolutely.
4th place here was a great run for him, and that is nothing to shake a stick at for that Nash Motorsports driver.
No, not at all. So we've got just trying to slowly keep an eye on that that 2nd place spot with McQueen and Hernandez. 2 to go. And it has got itself down.
All right, there's that big train that we've been following a little bit. Garzon leading over Venegas.
I think we're going to try to go to that 2nd place fight that we have right now.
All right. There's your leader. There's that battle you were talking about, Caden McQueen and Mauricio Hernandez. They'll be coming to the white flag lap. It's about 0.4 of a second the gap. It's a lot less now.
Yeah, Hernandez has been one of the fastest karts all day, so not surprised that he's closing this in. We'll see what happens. 2 to go.
All right, last lap, white flag in the air for your drivers. Does Mauricio Hernandez have anything here for Caden McQueen?
Does he try the Nash full send in?
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
But definitely closed in there.
Doesn't get it into 5, now looks into 6. McQueen doing a good job, not letting him be distracted here, just running his own racing line. Something happened in the back there to Garzon. He dropped down 4 or 5 positions. Must have just gotten a train run on him there. So there they go.
Yeah, I don't think Hernandez.
I don't think he's going to have it quite close
one
enough.
more.
It's still an impressive run here for Mauricio Hernandez.
Yeah, one more little passing zone here, and then not close enough to have McQueen be a defensive mode to slow him down enough.
But that's not going to matter here for Diego Ramos. He gives the big P1 in the air. He will take victory over Caden McQueen and Mauricio Hernandez. Driver of the day for me goes to Chase Gassioli in 4th position. Really great. Love that. Absolutely love that. That's one of my favorite things about karting is seeing that. Woo! Oh, there it is, the little surfboard out of Ramos.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The sportsmanship in this group is amazing. And like we said, you got to see these guys next week or 2 weeks from now or whenever their next big race is, which our big next race is in March, the weekend of the 21st, which I will be losing my counterpart over here. Yes. Not sure who's going to be in the booth with me.
I've got a couple of names. I'm going to talk to the powers that be, and we'll see if we can get them up there for you. But absolutely incredible action. We'll hopefully get...
Is Paul Page one? Can you get me Paul Page?
I'll see if I can get you Paul. I got Paul. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get Paul for you there. We're going to get the live looks down at it. Big hugs, as we said. Very happy to see that. Just that conversation there between Caden McQueen and Diego Ramos as they kind of compare notes a little bit. See if we see the there it is, universal hand signals of on the steering wheel there. Hernandez giving a big heads up to everybody as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So good racing, smart heads up. Really a little less uneventful as I thought it was going to be more dicey like the juniors, but
the seniors very clearly recognizing that they wanted to play a little bit cleaner, a little bit less aggressive, and that's how they played that out. There you see everybody taking off their stuff. And, well, folks, that's what we've got to be doing here shortly. We want to thank you so very much for joining us for Round 2 of the ROK Cup Florida Winter Tour from the Orlando Kart Center. On behalf of myself, DJ Clark, as well as Jason Ewers, who joined me up here in the booth, and this incredible production team, we want to thank you so much for joining us here. We'll see you in about a month from Houston. And until then, enjoy racing.